Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to Morning Brew. And I hope that whatever time of day it is, whenever you're listening, I do hope it's a good one for you. Of course, here it is Saturday morning. And at 6 a.m. Central. Now, normally I don't go right to the chat, but I will at this point because what the hell? Let's see here. Captain Cockney Spock, or Captain Cockney Mirror Spock says, maybe if you started 2 hours earlier. 4 a.m. Central. Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. I get up at 4:30. I what? Gonna start a stream when I'm asleep? No. Bad. BK Dan says, good morning, all. It's 0600 here. That was at 5 a.m. So you're definitely East Coast. Okay. If you do join the lovely quote people, to put that in quotes to cover a Klingon in the group today. He has a hard stop at 8:30 Eastern. That's cool. That's 7:30. 7:30 Central. Give or take a few minutes. That's cool. And hello, Almond Fate. Good to see you in chat today. Good morning, BK Dan. People talking to each other, which is cool. Already hit my Nectar of the Gods coffee and running in about a half hours with a friend to make rounds visiting people. Cool. Absolutely wonderful. Now, if you have a D&D game that is for a charity at 5 p.m. Eastern, is that something that's online that people can watch or participate in? I mean, when I say participate in, I'm talking like chat, not the game itself. That would already be set. And I'm sorry, you say this month's charity is out CT? I'm not familiar with that. Let's see here now. Almond's been playing since 91. BK Dan since 84. I'm not one that plays it myself, but I know people who do, and I, fully support anyone doing what is fun for them, so long as it's not harming others or anything like that. I fully support having fun. But let's see here. Now, today's featured channel is Sinnabuns Treasures. Now, most of you know Cinnabon Bunny in the chat. And he has decided to start a new YouTube channel rather than converting the old one. Covering his new business. His new business is buying the old abandoned storage lockers, and I do wish him well in that. And this is where he's going to be putting on videos where he's talking about items that he has for sale that he's found in these storage lockers. So one of the best things to do is to go ahead and subscribe. People who are subscribers will be given first view of what's available. Therefore, first pick. You can obviously contact him directly. And if you have if there's something that he has in his, whatever, I don't know what to call it right now, not had enough coffee to really articulate that, but go ahead, subscribe to that channel. You'll find out what's going on, and you may be able to get some good stuff at a reasonable price. Nothing wrong with that. And let's see here. Okay. And Captain Cockney Mary Spock says it's a 100 Sunday morning here. That is incorrect. It is currently 10 minutes past noon. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you're not in London. You're in whatever. It's still midnight. Excuse me. Not 1 a.m. It's midnight on Sunday morning. So last I knew, you were 12 hours away from London, not 13. And BirdOPrey5 says Kapla. And Mama Prey is still asleep. And Legal Latino Heat, good morning. There are YouTube online desktop role-playing games, yes. BK Dan, for gay people who are in need of financial help with loss of income, housing, because of coming out. See, that is, I find that utterly, I mean, what you're doing, good, but the loss of a job because of somebody coming out, that's wrong. That's just wrong, and I'm glad that you all are there to offer assistance. And just so you see, Legal Latino Heat, LDG is asking you to follow him on Twitter. And no, Kinjek Ben, today is BirdOPrey5's birthday. Today is his birthday. Yesterday was his pre-birthday stream. Today is his actual birthday. And Ken Jackman says, I believe today is my last day at my current residence. Yeah, definitely support Ken Jackman. Don't want him to have to be staying in a tent this winter. And good morning, PCAT. How are you this morning? Let me take care of something real quick. There we go. And if you would like to join PCAT, I did send you a personal link to join the stream today. I'm going to go ahead, go to my group, make sure that you're part of it, because if not, I'm going to make sure you are. Nope. Looking through this list. Okay. At least there aren't any people that shouldn't be there, which is good. There's one I just can't remove. I mean, I wouldn't even if I could. It's just one of those things, but all right, I'm adding 2 more people to the group. Got it. That's taken care of. All right, now back to the chat. And yes, as LDG says, happy birthday, Bird. And we know it's your 43rd birthday because you're no longer perfect. So enjoy your time past perfection. You're no longer perfect anymore. See, I thought that New Zealand was plus 12, not plus 13. I didn't know there was a change when the time changed. Cockney. And good morning, Mr. Lundell. No, that was his pre-birthday stream, not his birthday stream. And let me welcome PCAT.
Good morning, Captain. How's everything going?
Going well. How about you?
Not bad. It's Saturday, which is good. No work today.
Oh, absolutely. So what do you have going on today? Saturday.
Nothing major. I may be on Mr. Brown's Alliance's channel this evening when he does a review of the movie To Live and Die in L.A.
Cool.
Good movie. I don't know if William Friedkin directed it. William Peterson's the star, William Dafoe. Mid-'80s. Very good movie.
Wow. That's been a while.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it. I watched it last night for the first time, probably 10, 12 years. Has a great car chase scene too. That same director that directed the car chase in French Connection did this one. 2 excellent car chases.
And yes, BirdOPrey says yesterday was birthday eve stream. Today will be birthday stream with BirdOPrey. Wow, BirdOPrey will be on it. Cool. Does this mean we'll get at least one BirdOPrey tale? Because, yeah, we really need a BirdOPrey tale about BirdOPrey5. Something particularly embarrassing would be good. But, you know.
Need multiple tales today for a special birthday.
Either multiple tales or something really particularly embarrassing, you know.
Yes.
I'm not too picky. Oh, and it's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern, so it's going to be at a special time today.
You have any photos, Bird, of early, younger birthdays? Little bird opening up presents.
Now, that would be something to see.
Yep.
And Mr. Lundell says, we need many BirdOPrey tales today. The more embarrassing, the better. Agreed. Agreed. The more embarrassing, the better. And good morning, Professor Brady Specs. Don't forget, while you're teaching your class, to have them come by, not only visit BirdOPrey on his birthday, but to possibly hear BirdOPrey tales. And BirdOPrey5 will look for photos. BirdOPrey, please look for photos that Bird would not have on. Now, we don't necessarily need any bearskin rug type things, but you know.
No birthday suits.
You know, one where he's face planted in his birthday cake, or, you know, shoving his face full of whatever, you know, because it's his birthday, something like that. Something really, or running around just being silly, that kind of thing.
Got to see a photo of the birthday cake too today.
Ah, that's true. Oh, and Sinnabuns is going to be there. So make sure. And she's already said that she'll only get for one, but one person. But for his birthday, I wonder if she'll make an exception. I did ask her yesterday on the stream if she would, because she was in the chat. Mr. Lundell says we need a bearskin rug photo so Yvette can give a giggle. Unfortunately, she's not going to be available, but that would be funny. And okay, charity game of D&D this afternoon. Let me check something real quick. All right. BK Dan, if you have a link that is available for people to go to to check out. Go ahead and post that, please. I've added you as moderator so that people can find out more about the charity event.
So how did the week go for you, Captain?
Actually, the week went pretty well. Um, Yesterday was not great, but that's just I've always grown up. Fridays have not been a good day for me. I don't know what it is.
Decompressing from the week.
Something like that. Well, the other thing is that found out that my great nephew was probably exposed to you know what,
Mm.
because parents are too stupid to keep their children home when they're sick.
Yep.
So the kids from that class were sent home for 10 days. So because of one parent's incompetence and, well, outright stupidity,
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the class has to suffer.
What's the grade level?
Uh, he is in grade, this is kindergarten,
Okay.
but it's still, you know, he came home upset about not being able to go to school because, I mean, I'm sorry, kids at that age want to go to school.
Oh yeah. I mean I have a young niece who's missed school terribly when they were on the remote last year, and they don't learn anything on a remote anyway.
No.
They need interaction. You need to see they need to see facial reactions from other kids.
Yeah. Yeah, they need the social interaction. They need to go out and play. They need to be able to actually talk to their friends. Um, Granted, while Zoom meetings are, yeah, it's still not the same. It's just
It's
no.
one step above email contact. When you were at work, you want to have things get lost in translation, and if you're an adult and you work and you're doing Zoom meetings or emails, things are lost in translation. They're misunderstood. Sometimes causes unnecessary fights as opposed to actually physically speaking to somebody in person.
Yeah, I've had problems with people um, because of nonverbal miscommunication, and that's one thing that is the kids absolutely need
Mm-hmm.
the contact. So having 10 days without school because of some parents ignorance or stupidity or both uh, is not fair.
A lot of parents, they don't. It's sad because they don't care. They don't think. They just some may feel, oh, it's just a cold. They just send them to school instead of saying, you know what, keep them home for a day or two, see what happens. Get them checked out or her checked out.
Exactly. Let's see here. So anybody on Facebook, feel free to check out the page, find out more about that. And
What do you think about that, Cab? I'm reading what Ken Jack Ben wrote. I didn't really care too much one way or the other over the Britney Spears story.
Not really. Um, I mean, I guess it's good for her, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just I don't care. I mean, I don't. I don't revere her as somebody great. You know, it's just, if I were to meet her and, some whatever, it would just be another person.
Yeah, and was never into her music, but I have nothing for or against her. Doesn't
Yeah.
harm me, doesn't bother me. Same with the story, one way or the other. It's an internal family thing, and don't wish any harm on her.
No. And Jack Ben says, I didn't learn anything when I actually was in school, so I don't think either one is a good idea. Well, I see, as far as learning, maybe not so much, but the social interaction, yes.
Especially for the young kids. I mean, you in grammar school, kindergarten, first, second, third grade.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Plus, the teacher can see what the kid, can evaluate the kid more, the child more in person. Over a video screen it just becomes like an assembly line.
Yeah. And you can have that personal interaction where, okay, yes, you can have a personal video call, but it's not the same thing.
Especially when you get 25 students, there's no way you're going to be able to make individual time on a video conference or
No.
teaching.
So,
I'm sorry.
go ahead. Go.
So I got a funny story that Bird would love too, with our mutual hatred of leaf blowers. So I'm waiting for the train. It's early in the morning, and I'm on ground level, and all of a sudden one of the maintenance workers comes out with the leaf blower. 5 in the morning, get the smell of the gas, the stuff blowing all over the place, and it's near a residential neighborhood, so it's the perfect thing I'm sure people want to wake up to. You're in a leaf blower before 5 o'clock in the morning. Those things stink. You some the
Oh, yeah.
gas smell that comes from them is disgusting.
Yeah. I don't know where you went to school, Kid Jack Ben, but yeah, a lot of times, particularly if you're not in the mainstream school, yeah, it's just they pass you. Just to get rid of you.
It's about numbers. They got to get the numbers up. They got to get the graduation up. Then it comes down to local, state, and federal funding. Sometimes it's sad because it becomes a numbers game, and then the kids get lost in the shuffle.
Well, I mean, when they passed this "No Child Left Behind" crap, it sounds wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it's going to be, let's focus on teaching. No, it's not. It's not at all. Basically, it's we're not going to hold your child back because they don't understand. We're just going to pass them on. And they're going to get even more behind.
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll either graduate or quit school because of frustration because they're not learning.
No, they
But
can't keep up.
so I am all for repealing No Child Left Behind because it doesn't focus on learning.
It also makes the argument, not to get super political, but having a federal law for schooling, it should be left up to the local jurisdictions, local school boards. They have a better read on the needs of their children. Everybody's unique. There's different areas of the country that have that are unique, as opposed to having the federal government making a blanket mandatory school issue with the Department of Education. It should
Yeah,
be, it's like with everything else. Every localized area has their own basic needs that the federal government shouldn't be putting a blanket restriction or a blanket rule over.
yeah. Now, unfortunately, even now it's getting even worse because kids aren't even being taught to write.
Yeah,
They're
cursive.
barely taught to print.
Yeah, they can't read cursive.
I mean, it's wonderful to for parents now to be able to write in code. You know, their kids can't read it, but it's like, no, this is just.
It's funny because
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's funny because with modern technology and you're sending emails and you're typing on your phone and you're not writing out much, you're doing your bills online. It's like for a moment I had to write something out and it took me a couple of seconds to think, oh wait, how do I write to remember for a split second to write in cursive. Because you go through a long periods of time where you're not needing to write, unfortunately.
Yeah. And yeah, that's true. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. That's true. But making it so that it's available, yeah, I think that's important.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember. Well, I don't remember because that's well before my time. But the a lot of the main focus when education started was the 3 R's.
Mm-hmm.
And now, no, they don't care about reading. They don't care about writing. And arithmetic, maybe.
To a point. I mean, have you seen where they have these? I don't want to say lose, but the way they go about grading, you can have a child get the wrong answer, and and vice versa, the wrong answer, and then they'll still give them credit for it because they went about it the right way. It's like, well, 2 + 2 is 4. That's supposed to be the answer. If you're writing out a check in real life and you put the wrong amount on, you're going to get penalized. But in the school
Correct.
system, they'll give you partial credit for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, there's a definitive answer. 2 + 2 is 4. 1 + 1 is 2, etc.
And then you have the other side where, they want you to not only show your work, but you have to do it in a certain way. So, even if you get the right answer, if you don't go about it their way,
Mm-hmm.
you're wrong. It's like, but it adds up. It's correct. There's nothing. It's there are no errors in it. It's
Right.
just not done their way.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's everything that's, I don't want to say dumbing down, but it's in every aspect. It's because of the technology. We got calculators. Don't need to worry about how to properly add subtract,
Yeah.
divide, multiply. I mean, even when I was in college, we took, you get one of those boring, not boring, but BS electives. So you take a bowling course to fulfill your gym or phys ed requirement.
Yeah.
So the teacher goes, "Oh, you don't have to worry about learning how to score in bowling. It's done automatically on the computer." It's like, okay. But now I didn't learn how to properly score in bowling at the time. I mean, granted, you don't need it, but being able to think and using your brain keeps you active and it's healthier.
Absolutely. I remember I had to take, I did the same type of thing where had to take an extra phys ed course, and it's like, oh, bowling, okay, that's fine. I did get a little better in bowling than I was before. Nothing huge, but you know. And fortunately, I wasn't graded on bowling technique because that would have sucked.
That fits in with what you were saying with, if you have the right answer, regardless of how you got there. So if you're bowling, you can have the worst technique. You can bowl underhanded. You can, loop it through your leg, whatever you want to do. As long as you get a strike or you get the most pins, you win. Doesn't matter how your technique is. You knock the pins down. That's all that matters.
But for some reason, it's now gotten to the point. It's like, well, if you don't know the technical technique to do it correctly, you're going to get scored down for it. Okay, that's. And I remember one time. This was before they had the automatic bumpers that would come up.
Oh, the bumper bowling, yeah.
Oh, Lord. Well, they had left down the bumpers. And so, of course, in my school, we had assigned lanes when we were bowling. Well, this one week they'd left down the bumpers, and everybody was wanting to move to those two lanes. The teacher's like, no, you have assigned lanes. That's it. Of course, everybody who were on those two lanes were like, why is this here? Get rid of it. In fact, there was one who actually got more strikes that week. And one who missed more because they relied on the bumpers there.
Ah, okay.
So not only could it be an advantage, it could also be a disadvantage because it didn't end where, it could still roll past the pins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it throws your whole technique off too. Because now you're aiming to hit the bumper the right way to get it to zip across, as opposed to finding the sweet spot as you roll the ball. Straight.
Absolutely. And good morning, Keely Chow. What's going on? Not too much. We're just kind of talking.
Remember one time we went on a class trip bowling, and I was in a bowling league. Not really good, but I forgot my bowling ball. So I used one of the house balls, and it must have been magic because I had the best game of my life. And like I would throw it in a way, I was like, oh, it's a bad throw. And it would just magically curve its way back. If I would have thought more, I would have stolen the ball because it was just magic. Like every time I threw it, no matter where I threw it, just had this automatic curve.
Oh yeah, I found one of the balls there. When I went bowling, it's like, okay, this is the one, and I had to find it every time.
Mm-hmm.
but I could, there were several that looked like it, but I could tell which one it was by picking it up. It's like, okay, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, well, let's see here. You were in a bowling league. Let me guess. Obviously, you had your own ball.
Yeah.
Did you have your own shoes?
That I did not. I would just go there, and they didn't cost anything because we were part of a league, so they were provided. But yeah, no, I never bought my own shoes.
Because that was the thing I always hated about the bowling shoes. Were just
Nasty. Yeah, they would get they would spray them and you bring them back, and they would shoot. I don't know if it was Lysol, whatever the heck they would shoot inside of it.
yeah.
Then they don't fit sometimes, and you got to go back, and they're uncomfortable.
Well, there was one time I'd gotten it was obviously a mixed pair. Same number, except the person putting them back didn't realize that they put one men's shoe and one woman's shoe. Not the same size. Oh.
Yeah, it was fun. I had fun doing it with the bowling league. Of course, my average wasn't that high. I wasn't a very good bowler, but you would have the occasional high score for the day. But for the most part, I was, crack 100. I would, probably count on one hand how many times I hit over 200.
Yeah, I could definitely. I mean, I'd easily get in the 150s, no problem. But you know, without even trying.
It was more as a fun thing. It was a good fun Saturday late morning thing to do when I was in school.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of fun. I miss those days, like Little League, playing Little League baseball during, in grammar school. It was a lot of fun. Give you that extra incentive. You get home, rush home, do your homework, change, boom, go to the ball field.
Hello world, it's BirdOPrey5. Kapla.
And happy birthday, Bird.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we know Bird's a Scorpio, I should say.
Yes. Scorpio. And Mom Opre has just put a birthday hat on me.
Nice.
By the feel of it, the same birthday hat we've used for the last several years.
Yes.
Thank you, Mom Opre.
Yeah.
And yes, it was a good leaf blower story, PCAT.
Yeah, I hate them. I don't know if I hate them as much as you do, but freaking not even 5 o'clock in the morning and going to work and dealing with the smell and the noise and the debris all over the place.
And as for my bowling average, I'll say that my age has recently hit my bowling average.
Okay, so he had a bowling average of 43. Okay.
How often did you play?
Weekly for about 2 years.
Did you team or just doing it for fun?
I mean, it wasn't a league; it was just friends. My friends were more serious about it. Obviously, I wasn't on. Like 4 of them were on a league. I wasn't. I would just come by to make them feel better about themselves, I guess. They all had these fancy balls, and mine was, of course, just the globe, the Earth. I was that guy that had the Earth bowling ball.
Cool.
Yes, apparently. Nothing fancy about it. You know, not made to throw strike curves, but interesting. I got into this. Didn't know anything about the science behind bowling balls until I started learning about how some are, you know, they're weighted off center to make curves easier, since curving is kind of expected. And my hope and a prayer, throw straight and pray, was not the best way of getting 300. One of the guys got 300 a couple times, not while I was there, but enough that he printed it out and framed it for his man cave.
I don't think we want to know about those. Yes.
Are those fancy ones from the future or from the present?
I hope they're from the future.
If they're too far, they may sag a little bit though.
And yes, if you can check your Twitter as well. That reminds me. Let me do that real quick. Because there's no point. Let's see if he's already on there. Okay, he's already there. No, he's not. Look at that shit. I gotta get him on. Add. There we go.
Thank you, BK Dan, but unfortunately, I do not speak Klingon. I mean, besides Kapla and a couple of others. But I'll take that as happy birthday.
Is there a special Kurogan ceremony for the leader's birthday? Is there anything special that the family has to do for you?
Not the family.
The citizens of Kurogan?
Yes. I can't speak of it, though, on air.
Oh, really? Not even on your own stream?
Especially not on my own stream.
Ah.
So what kind of cake are you going to have today?
I honestly probably not going to have any cake. Huh? Somebody asked what kind of cake was I going to have today. Is that probably what? Cupcakes. Cupcakes, apparently. I didn't think I was going to have cake at all. Mama Bray doesn't really cook, and she doesn't bake, and we didn't go anywhere. We're obviously not going out for a cake. I don't think anybody ordered a cake, BirdOPrey5 not coming today to bring a cake. So, I mean, I guess we could order a cake at some point, or cupcakes, or wherever. There is a bakery we can order from. But to be honest, I'm just not that big of a cake person. So, but BirdOPrey5 likes it. So I'm certainly not going to turn down cake.
Nice. But is Carvel cake something you guys
Carvel cake is something I could handle. Yeah, I do like ice cream cake too. BirdOPrey5 likes Carvel very, very much. In fact, would you say BirdOPrey5 working at Carvel was something that you got him to do, or he did before you knew him? Before you met him. So you could just smell the Carvel on him still. No, it doesn't involve pain sticks.
Maybe we ought to have those super chats today.
What super chats?
Well, the super chats you get today.
To what? Oh, get a Carvel cake?
Yeah.
We can get a Carvel cake regardless of the super chats, but thank you. If BirdOPrey5 wants cake, she'll get cake. I appreciate it. I mean, if anybody wants to. Super chat.
It'd be more fun to get you a pain stick, but I thought it'd be nice to take a BirdOPrey5.
Eastland, you're not old, Eastland. If you're old, then I'm going to be old sooner than I think. And Scott, if you're old, then we can't ever tell BirdOPrey5 that. Because BirdOPrey5 is certainly not old.
BirdOPrey5 is not old. Let's see here. Neither are you, Eastland. Good God, 58. It's not like you're 108.
Although Danny Glover, there's a meme going around saying when Danny Glover said he was too old for this, he was only 41 years old.
Oh my God.
And that makes me feel old. It's like watching that as a kid, I thought he was like in his 50s or 60s. And then you find out he was only 41.
Now, what's going to hit me hard is when I hit Patrick Stewart's age at the beginning of TNG. Because I thought he was just an old man, in charge of a starship when TNG started.
How old was he? Was he mid-40s?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I thought, again, as a kid, he looked like he was
65,
70
or something.
And good morning, Resolute Germ. By the way, do you have the Saturday morning cartoon stream already set up for today? Older at 41. Oh, good grief. No. I'm sorry. I understand people saying not young at in their 40s. I get that. But older, it's like no. For fuck's sake, no. I remember one time it's like, what would you do if you could go back to whatever age? And I can't remember what it was. It was under 30. And I think this was a Twitter thing. It's like, oh, hell no. No. I wouldn't want to be 21 again. God, no. That was...
I'd go back about 15 years. That's if I can talk, if you could talk to yourself and change one thing, I'd go back about 15 years, but not in my 20s.
Now, if I could go back and change something, yes, but I wouldn't want to actually be that age again. I no. Knowing what I know and reliving that, no, bad.
The professor says he's 953.
I don't know about that one. Still young at heart, regardless if your knees are stiff and your back sometimes hurts. Yeah. Yeah, and I've known other people like that. It's like they've had enough stuff that happened to them when they were young. It's like they felt old. Like certain parts of me to be 21 again, like my back and knees. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Yeah, if I could get certain parts of my body to go, oh, okay, yeah, I can choose how much younger. Sure, why not? It'd be like kind of doing a natural knee replacement type thing. That would be cool. Random Menace says, I would like to be eternally 30. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. I'd be living hell, I would think. To perpetually be the same age? No.
Now, just physically, but you mentally grow? Maybe.
I can understand there being certain advantages to that, but at some point, like when you're 95 and everybody knows dead and looks like dirt, and you're still looking 30, yeah, then you're gonna have friends in their 30s because you look 30. And you're not going to relate to them because you're 95.
It's that old question. You want to live forever, but then it's like, how many people are you going to lose along the way and how lonely you're going to be?
I mean, you would have to actually, be in my opinion, you'd actually have to be an extrovert, really, in order to enjoy that.
Yeah. But then look at the simple things. It's like, all right, so you're constantly physically 30, you're mentally 90, but you've been 95, 100 years old. So now, do you relate to you want to be an extrovert, but you're going to go to whatever the club scene is. Are you going to be into the new type of music? Because we all have our own prejudices, like this modern music I hate, and then now it's going to be constantly changing. You're going to get it, you're going to get into the fads of the day. I cringe at what movies are going to be like if I was mentally 30 but lived to be 100 years old. I hate what they're doing to them now.
Imagine it's like all of a sudden, you still have your somehow still have your collection of movies, and people are going like, "You like that?"
It's like, yes, I do like Casablanca, Sonny.
Oh,
Well, the video gaming would be interesting.
now that would definitely be interesting.
Yeah. So I'm not going to hold on to, I'll only play Atari 2600 if 100 years from now.
And all of a sudden, you know, you'll end up having, instead of a computer, you'll end up having a gaming server and a computer by itself. Of course, the computer will be a little dongle that plugs into your TV by then. But the game server will still have to be larger in order to connect and do all that stuff. But there won't be any physical games. I still don't like that.
No, I feel the same with the movies. I want the physical copy. Something about having the physical copy. If you get good artwork on the case or on the disc itself, stuff I treasure and don't want to give up. It's like people with albums too, because you get people that are avid music collectors. They prefer the old albums because of the artwork and the liner notes and everything that came with it, as opposed to you download the song. That's it. It's just the song. You get nothing else with it. You can't physically look at the artwork on the album that went into it and the artistry behind it.
And of course, you're going to have people say, "Well, you can still look at it online."
That's not the same.
No. And good morning, Flugger. How are you today?
Actually got to the point where I bought myself a second cheap Blu-ray player, so now I have two. So I was like, all right, I want to watch two movies back to back. I don't have to worry about getting up, change, boom, 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 hit the button, watching the other movie, just as fast as streaming.
Yeah. Yeah. We lost the record company domination of the music, but we lost the accompanying art too. Well, that's why I'm glad that there's been a resurgence in the album sales. It's not all been classic stuff. There is something to be said for the imperfections of a record.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like with the what is it? The Star Wars despecialized editions that they've come out with. They've removed the perfection from it and added the little bit of graininess, and that's what is missing in some of the modern movies. Is it's almost too clean, too perfect. they almost, a lot of them almost need to go back in and put something in there to make it more, to give it more depth.
You want a little grain in the image. I mean, not saying you want static lines in it, but you want a little grain in the image, especially of older movies that were shot on film before
Yeah.
they converted to digital. It adds to the feel. I mean, you watch a movie like, say, The Taking of Pelham 123, the one that was made in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
You get, it's on film. It's got a, it's nice on Blu-ray, looks nice and clean, but they keep a little bit of the film grain, the natural grain in it, and you get that look and that authentic feel, and you're in the grittiness of a story that takes place in New York City in the 70s. You could see the grime. You feel you visually feel the filth of the city back then.
Not like today where you can smell it, but
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I know that all too well working in the city.
well, I'm sure. Oh, by the way, I did want to say, since they removed the display of dislikes, that's one of the things that they supposedly did for small creators. Yeah, bullshit. YouTube, since you're going to be listening in anyhow, we all know you didn't do it for us. You did it for corporate accounts. So own up to it. And if you actually want to do something for us, bring back the feature that we can look up channels just by clicking the 3 little dots. That was a helpful feature. Such as when I was on, at that time, Andy Trekker's channel. And it looked like Neurotic showed up. Okay, that's cool. Look it up. It's like, no content. Wait a minute. This isn't the right account. Okay. Now, so we knew immediately this was bullshit. Now we can't even do that. All we would end up doing would be looking up the actual account, not the fake account. So
I have noticed that you get some channels have a thumbs up, thumbs down, and some just have like, dislike, but you don't get to see the numbers that go along with the like, dislike.
right. The ones that have the like, dislike, where it's disabled, they don't want to show the numbers, and I don't blame them. Anymore. In fact, I'm going to have to figure out how to do that. I might as well not even have the likes displayed. Why bother? If it's not going to show the dislikes, there's no point to it. It's like, ooh, I got, and I looked it up last night. I got more dislikes yesterday than I did in past days. Why? Because the dislikes don't show. So all you're actually going to be encouraging YouTube is people downvoting. So if there's something you don't like, let's say a corporate account, go ahead, not only dislike it, leave a negative comment until they decide to disable comments on the videos as well.
Yeah, I remember they started doing that for, was it Netflix initially, that when they changed their rating systems?
Yeah, and yeah, it was too helpful. That's why it had to go. I agree. And good morning, Mr. Gregory. How are you today?
I got a question for you. So you're able to see Like if you remove the likes, dislikes, but you can see it on your channel, are you able to see which viewers like and dislike, or is that always anonymous?
Always anonymous. Always anonymous. I mean, YouTube knows, but they will never let us know. And good morning, Brandon Looney Tunes fan 2000. How are you today?
So I mean, you can't even control it. Like if you get a troll that comes in just to sign onto your channel, just to give it a dislike or a thumbs down, you're not aware of. You can't track who the trolls are that way
Nope.
then, unless they pop up in the chat.
No, they could, because what a lot of times they'll do is they'll use either clone accounts or their quote unquote backup accounts to leave dislikes. So you could have one or two people in the chat leaving 5 or 6 dislikes because they could change their accounts. You know, it's really I don't know. It's just the whole reasoning behind what YouTube says is just utter bullshit. And I find it funny because the small creators know it's an absolute lie.
It's like when Rotten Tomatoes changed their ways so they can appease Disney and the big major studios because they don't like the negativity that their movies get. All geared towards the big boys, not the smaller people.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that happened before was there would be big woke productions that would be, they'd put up their YouTube video, and all of a sudden, there would be a 10-to-1 ratio of dislikes. And then all of a sudden, the likes and dislikes were not being displayed because apparently they thought that seeing the number encouraged people to downvote it. I mentioned this yesterday. Saw a video that Drunk 3PO Jay did before, where he encouraged people to dislike the video. My comment was, I wonder how many people actually are going to, because we'll never know unless he actually puts out a video and says. Let's see here. And good morning, Ervik Sonder. Good morning, Jedi Bill. And let's see here. Since I know Ervik Sonder is here, I will go ahead and take care of this and get more coffee myself.
Listen to me very carefully, because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
Coffee. Black. While I've got your attention, there are...
Coffee first. Well, this mentor would like another cup of coffee. I'm just gonna have to give up coffee. Want some coffee?
If I'm not mistaken, that's your 3rd cup this morning.
4th, and on a day like today, it won't be my last. Coffee. The finest organic suspension ever devised. Commander, set a new course. There's coffee in that nebula.
Just got finished pouring the cup of coffee. I have
Excellent.
more coffee because You know, it's funny. There was somebody I was listening to. They were talking about how they needed to cut back on coffee because they were drinking like a pot a day. It's like lightweight. I mean, if BirdOPrey were to drink a pot a day, that'd be one thing because she would be the only one drinking it unless Sinnabuns likes it. By the way, what time are Sinnabuns and Charlie coming today?
They're not coming.
I thought they were.
No, Charlie's still not 100%, and neither am I. Charlie's on antibiotic. I'm on antibiotic. Gotta wait another week. Family birthday is postponed until next week.
Ah.
I mean, had we been feeling okay, they would have came.
I was just hoping that she was going to be there to hit you today. I mean, to wish you a happy birthday.
Yeah, no, that's what you could tell her to hit me, but it doesn't count if she's not here, and B, she'd just forget by the time next week comes around. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure she'll hit me, but as to who asked her, I don't think she'll remember.
Oh, I'll make sure she does. Don't worry.
You gonna gather, have the birthday celebration timing with Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I forgot about Thanksgiving. Is there a week between Thanksgiving?
Yeah, that was it. Next week is. So a week from Thursday would be Thanksgiving.
Let me look. Wait a minute. Next Saturday's the 20th, and the Thanksgiving's the 25th. Damn.
Yep.
That's just wrong.
I agree.
That means I'm going to be stuck in my room all day on Thanksgiving. Yay. Just that I dislike my family. No. Parents, fine. Great nephews, usually fine, except they're sick now.
So Cap, I have to run for a little bit. I don't know if you want me to come back, I will definitely come back if you're still on, but I do have to run for a little while.
Go for it.
All right. Bird, happy birthday. All right, maybe I'll see you guys in a little while.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Captain.
And Professor Brainy Specs had the cough and throat issues for about a day. Well, that's good. I'm glad it wasn't longer. Oh, this is another thing I've noticed in some live streams that I've been to. The view count will be off. I mean, there was one yesterday I went to. They were showing 2 people watching. There were at least 5 people active in the chat. So, yeah. YouTube, if you're going to fix things, fix things that actually matter. Oh no, that would actually help the small creators. I'm sorry. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? Why the hell would they want to help us? And let's see here. I think I'm going to go ahead. We've already passed the hour mark. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat. Yeah, YouTube getting something wrong. That's impossible. Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely watching. And well, I mean,
No, I'm sorry, I missed PCAT. I was in the middle of a Jaloja
not a
as he was
problem.
leaving. Sorry, PCAT. Thank you again. And Kapla, everybody. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Sorry, Captain. I just didn't want to forget.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's quite understandable. Let's see here who is backstage. I had to pin the comment before I forgot.
Roger.
Hi. Having a happy birthday so far there, Bird?
I am. Thank you.
Well, that's good.
So what kind of cupcakes is Mama Prey going to make?
She's not going to make them. She's going to order them. And my favorite kind of cupcakes are vanilla flavored cake with chocolate frosting.
Ooh.
I was thinking about making carrot cake cupcakes.
Which incidentally is also my favorite kind of cake. Vanilla cake with chocolate frosting.
Yeah.
Entenmann's used to make a good chocolate fudge. Their chocolate fudge cake used to be really good. In fact, a couple of times in school, Mama Prey would just get 2 Entenmann's cakes, put them on top of each other, and then just frost around the edges to make it look like one double layer cake. And that used to be great. But now the fucking Entenmann's cakes are so tiny. They made them smaller and smaller every year. And of course, kept raising the price. That now, even if you bought 4 cakes, they still wouldn't be the size of what 2 cakes used to be.
Stained glass cookies.
Delic 451, go ahead and put your link in for your channel.
Well, he's not a wrench, so
He is now.
oh, okay.
I know it was funny. I was on a stream last night where the host was like, "Well, everybody," because there were a few people in chat, go ahead and add your links in for YouTube. And I'm going, I would, but I'm not a moderator. I said I'm not asking you to be, but and Parrothead was there. I said, well, one person I would trust would be Parrothead because he was in the chat. And so he went ahead and added me as moderator. And I don't ask to be added as moderator to channel. That's just nah. Re-added was one thing. I did do that before, but And you're quite welcome. No, I fully believe in supporting our community. We have many people who come to this channel who are Doctor Who fans, and I know that your channel is more focused on Doctor Who. Now, not everybody on this channel is necessarily going to be going over and watching Doctor Who content, but you know, those who are, I absolutely endorse it. I'm subscribed. You know, I like hearing from fans of Doctor Who about it because it's something that you know, I can appreciate. I may not have the same appreciation for the show, but I can appreciate the passion that they have.
Yeah, the fandom. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, hell yeah. I mean, you got to support people. It's like, I'm sure there's people that come hang out with us that don't like Star Trek or don't like Stargate, and they just like the banter.
Yeah. And like I said, I would subscribe Dalek 451, but I'm already subscribed.
I see you're still at 502. What did you do wrong?
Well, I was at 504.
Well,
So,
yeah, and by Monday you'll be at 498 or some shit. So.
See, that's why I'm waiting till Monday. You know, if I still have 500 or more subscribers on Monday, I'm going to have my official 500 stream. Until then, no, I'm gonna give it time.
Smart move.
Yeah, definitely a smart move.
When I had 450, it's like, oh fuck it, I'm having my 450 celebration. Of course, by the time the stream started, I had 300, but it's like, yeah, fuck it, who cares? I'll be back over soon anyhow.
That's the spirit.
Otherwise, I would have changed the name, and it's like, no, don't care. And there been people, well, are you going to start the countdown to the next 100? No, I'm at 500. I'm fine. More people want to subscribe. I'll have celebrations. That's great, but I'm not going to go, hey, you know, whatever. So how are you doing today, Flugger?
Oh, I'm doing good, actually. My voice is pretty much back. It had to have been a snoring episode or something, you know, because I couldn't even swallow yesterday when I got up. That was really bad. But yeah, today's been pretty good. I got up at 3 again and watched some Eureka, and then I figured I better go check out what's going on here in stream.
And Professor Brady Specs had said, happy birthday, BirdOPrey5, leaving for work.
Well, have a good day at work.
Take care, Professor.
And no, Jedi Bill, that does happen on Monday.
If he stays over 500.
If I stay over 500.
Yeah.
I like I said, I want to give it a few days to settle. If it goes under, then I'll wait. If not, I'll have the celebration. That's fine.
Yeah, you know, sometimes YouTube just rips away your subs for no apparent reason. Other than maybe they were made with, you know, clone accounts or something.
Yeah. And I don't want that.
No, it really doesn't help at all.
It's like what helps is to have people, you know, watch the content, whether they come on for for 5 minutes and say hi and, just interact in the chat or, leave a comment if they're rewatching it. That's what counts. Having I'm going to call them fake accounts because really that's what they are. I mean, I have a secondary account that I use for just watching other things other than what I normally watch. I'm not even subscribed to myself. So it's like, because I don't watch myself. Why would I do that? I don't like rewatching my own content, and yeah, having a an extra number on there, woohoo!
Yeah. Well, I do have a second account on the same account that Fluggerville is on, but that's my personal account, and I don't really like to use that.
Mm-mm.
Well, unless I'm looking up on how to fix my car or, do something around the house and I really just want a couple tips or something, and then, I'll probably just use Fluggerville, but, sometimes I just go in and throw on my personal account and watch stuff from there.
There have been a couple of times. One time in particular, it was either on Anti-Trekkers or BirdOPrey5's channel. I made a comment in the chat, and it's like, oh shit, I'm on the wrong account.
That's easy enough to do. And we should say hi to Christian Fandom Geek and Red Cranium.
Absolutely. The Jedi Bill clone.
I thought it was Uncle Fester Jedi Bill or
Good morning, Resolute Germ.
Fester Bill.
Doing good. What's going on?
Not much.
You going to be having Saturday morning cartoons today, or?
Yeah, already set up and ready to go.
Awesome.
I actually got that done early this week.
Cool.
So what are you playing?
I think we're around episode 35 of Darkwing Duck. And as for the rest, I'd have no idea where they're at. It's the same 4 series.
Oh, okay.
Set a reminder. Let's see here. Let's see here. Darkwing Duck episode 35, Star Wars Clone Wars season 4 episode 13, Conan the Adventurer season 2 episode 20, and Transformers Generation 1 season 2 episode 19. And that will be going live in about 2 hours?
Yeah, give or take.
Because I always love how they wait until like the 90-minute mark, and then it starts counting. Other than that, it's like they count the whole hour. So it's like, because it goes now live, live in 2 hours. It's like, whatever, close enough. Which is actually more like 2 hours, 20 minutes, but I'll just say close enough.
Yeah.
And you are always welcome to join in, Dalek451. I like having new people on the panel. It's always fun. Granted, you've been on once, but you're still new on this channel. So, other than the normal episodes that you're going to be watching today, anything else going on, or?
No, not much. I'm really hampered of what I do in this state at the moment. They're still enforcing vax cards everywhere you go. They're actually trying to get that pushed on to like grocery stores.
God.
And I actually found out that was originally proposed in his little mandate order, but the union that controls basically all the grocery stores except for Walmart around here leaned on him to get it taken out.
Good. This is one of the few times I can actually say, yeah, I fully support that. It's just like, I'm fortunate in the fact that we don't have to show vax cards here. That's just, I'm sorry that no. Like it was funny, not to bring up that topic, but I happened to see something on Twitter this morning that apparently there are people that are taking borax baths to try to remove that injection from their system. It's what? Are you really that stupid?
That's probably just one of those things Twitter is saying that never really happened.
True.
Sort of like the fish tank cleaner thing.
But do you think we can drink bleach to get rid of this virus?
That was just a bit. That happened one time, and that lady got charged with murdering her husband for it.
Oh gosh.
And then they made it out to look like this whole epidemic of people drinking fish tank cleaner. But yeah, most of that stuff that's people talking shit on Twitter about people they really want to look stupid.
Oh, yeah, well, there are a lot of stupid people out there. There are a lot of stupid people out there, but, it is what it is.
And unfortunately, I live in a concentration of them.
So let's see here. Bird is going live at 3 p.m. Eastern for anyone interested because it's his birthday celebration.
Which would be the normal time for a Saturday.
I'm sorry. I was thinking it was 4.
Yeah.
What do you have planned for your grand birthday party, Bird?
Well, Mama Pray will join us. We'll do a panel. We'll guess we'll have some cake at some point. We'll see how it goes. Sisso Pray might call in if she can.
I may message Mama Pray and have her, shove a cupcake in your face just for fun.
Yeah, that's not going to work because she's not going to be. Mama Pray doesn't multitask at the computer well. So if she's on StreamYard, she's not going to be answering Facebook messages in the background. I can promise that.
I didn't say I was going to wait till then.
Plans
Should ask
are
him how
already in
much
the works, Bird.
How big of a super chat will it take for her to shove a cupcake in your face?
That's a legitimate question.
Why do you think there's any amount of money that would get my own mother to shove a cupcake in my face?
Well, my mother would. So.
There's not. No amount.
Oh, my mom would. Absolutely.
No good Italian mother would waste food
Yeah,
like
Mom.
that.
Well, why is there no?
Okay. Because first of all, you're my son. And I love you completely. And I would not do something like that. I consider it mean. And then, on the other hand, I got to clean it up. I have to bring you the water and the rags, the washcloths, and then you probably get all the bed wet. So then I have to lift you. So
Okay.
no, there's no amount of money to get me to do anything like that.
I think
But
there's
it's
some
'cause
amount.
I love you, not because I got all the birthday.
I think there's an amount of money. I think there is an amount of money. I'd say it's like $5,000, but I'd say if somebody were to super chat you $5,000, I'll bet you Mama Pray would do it.
They're saying if it was $5,000, you'd probably change your mind.
Stan, 100,000.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ, woman, $1 million. You better change your mind.
But Diana would do it, I'm sure, for like nothing.
She's sticking to her guns.
Wow. Woman of principle, not even for $1 million. Damn.
$1 million, we could hire someone to clean it.
Well, Sassy would clean it up off the floor, so
That's
not
right.
a
And
problem.
Sassy would clean the floor for free.
Yeah, no problem.
Look, I never said I thought about it.
Okay. That's it, guys. No amount.
You know, your sister told me Charlie's not drinking bottles anymore.
Charlie's not drinking bottles anymore.
And of course, I don't.
Now, Christian's Fandom Geek, I would, I that one I can answer without a doubt. Mama
Bird would do it to himself.
wouldn't care about Star Wars. Bird might do it to himself at that point, but yeah. And good morning, Dr. Alex. How are you this morning?
Then again, I'm not sure Bird knows who Catherine Kennedy is. He's not much of a Star Wars fan.
I think he's heard the name before. He's on YouTube enough.
Yeah.
I mean, he does watch Doomcock, so, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Random is Charlie go back to the bottle when he's 21. Oh, Lord. Dr. Alex is inexplicably tired, making another cup of tea to perk him up. Hopefully your afternoon's going well. Is what a good name for a YouTube channel. A credible name. What? Not sure what channel you mean there. Christian Fandom Geek. Doomlat. That's why he's that's why his name on YouTube is actually Overlord DVD. But yeah.
I gotta go for a bit, Cap. I'm just
no problem,
I'll
Bird.
put it on mute. I'll stick around.
Absolutely.
If you're okay with that.
No problem.
Feel free to drop me if it gets full.
Oh yeah, we're just so full right now. But let's see here. No, you know, the link is in the chat. Anyone is free to join, of course. And so
looks like Bird muted us two, including him. Unless it was you, Captain Trek.
Oh, I don't know what that sound was that was coming from your. Sounded like a cutting or scissors or sharpening a knife or what. It was just like
I was peeling a carrot. I should have muted myself. Oops.
And we'll be here in 5 minutes for sure. Just kind of enjoying a quiet Saturday morning. Nobody here, of course. It's just blissful. And good morning, Robert Rose Jr. How are you today? Who also says happy birthday to BirdOPrey5. So, We've got the Saturday morning cartoons coming up. Got Bird's stream coming up. Anything else coming up later today? Anyone knows of? Or
Thinking between me and Bird, Jedi Bill has something going.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah. 2001, I believe.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Cool.
A Space Odyssey. That's right. I saw that.
But it's. Let's see here. Let me check real quick. Normally I get. Okay. Somebody retweeted me I wasn't expecting, which is always nice. Cool. All right, let's see here. And I will go ahead and put the link in the chat now for Saturday morning cartoons. That way anybody who's watching can go ahead and set the reminder. Just open it up in a different tab, set the reminder, and you'll be ready to watch along with Resolute Germ. I, for one, have fun going on there and watching. But let's see here. Hopefully Dr. Alex will be able to join us. He said he would in 5 minutes, and that was about 5 minutes ago. So be interesting to see how he's been. I've not gotten a chance to talk to him lately.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
I saw him in chat the other day, but Ken Jackman says, one of my most favorite Saturday morning cartoons is Pirates of Darkwater. Any chance you might be showing episodes of that sometime?
It is definitely on the list. Unfortunately, it is extraordinarily hard to come by, both online and on DVD. I've found some sources selling it, but the DVDs are usually just crap copies of VHS tapes.
Wow. Yeah, that is unfortunately a lot of the older DVDs before they started remastering them. They would just basically copy the VHS tape and there you go. It's now on DVD.
Yeah. Yeah, half the time Amazon doesn't have any sellers, and the eBay ones being sold on eBay. I've bought one copy of it wasn't the series or anything, but like $5 supposedly had 5 episodes on it. Had one episode, horrible sound, horrible picture. You can tell they just used the quick hard copy off of a VHS, an old VHS.
Yeah.
Some of those, like with the Pirates of Dark Water, they never got a legitimate source, even on home video most of the time. The rights were always subcontracted out to anyone willing to give them money. And even the VHS copies were never made in any real quality or real quantity.
No.
Then there's some of those old series that studios have the rights to it, but there's someone in the studio who wants to kill that property in favor of something else that they like to push.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Exosuit, they released season 1 on DVD, but there's someone at, I believe it's Warner Brothers that owns it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They thought it was interfering with some of their other properties, so they just bury it.
Sure. That seems logical. And good morning, Mr. Lundell.
Hello.
And hello, Sherry. How are you today? Let's see here. Now, Ken Jack Ben says also a show that did not air on Saturday morning, but is good nonetheless. Fox's Peter Pan and the Pirates. I don't remember seeing that.
I think that is one of those cartoon Disney ones.
No, Dr. Alex, you're not backstage. Me. See something here now. Yeah, that's what I put in because I'm not seeing. God damn it.
Oh, they have Exo Squad on Peacock now, according to Ken Jeff Ben. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Cool.
Yeah.
I have to download Peacock again.
Peacock is definitely got its uses, and I do use it some. So, yeah.
That's the freebie stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they do have a free version.
Now, they have a paid version available, but yeah, the free version gives you access to a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I
I have it on my Roku. I've never watched. Well, I did. I watched Logan. Last thing I saw on it was the old Logan's Run TV show. I binged that, but that was the last time I used it.
And yes, Eastland, Peacock is free. You can get a paid version of it, but the free version is quite good.
Yeah, the paid version's only good if you want some of their secondary stuff. Like they have a WWE network on there. They have certain sports packages on there.
Mm-hmm.
And good afternoon, Dr. Alex.
Oh, it's finally working. God, YouTube and Facebook, both of them are calling me.
Oh, do yourself a favor, drop Facebook. Drop Facebook immediately. That's going to be becoming more malware than it already is.
Yeah. YouTube's insisting on this bloody two-step verification all the time. It needs to have a Google device logged in somewhere for you to log in. Well, my phone is de-Googled. There happens to be another phone somewhere in my flat which is connected to Google, but there's no way of, if you turn off the two-step verification, it still asks for two-step verification. It's just utterly ridiculous. I just want to enter my username and password, you doofuses, and that will do. Apparently, no, you can't do that. And also, Facebook keeps saying, "Oh, it looks like someone's been accessing your account. We've blocked it." Well, no one else has been accessing it. All the posts you're questioning are my freaking posts, you moron. Stop making me change my password incessantly, you doofuses. Ugh, what is wrong with these idiots?
Somebody accessed your Facebook account. Yeah, it was me, you dumbass.
Was me, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So just imagine, okay, I got a new phone yesterday. That's what I spent most of the day doing. To set up a damn phone. Same thing, you know.
I mean, I imagine part of the confusion might be my fault. But one, I'm using a de-Googled phone, one that's got Android, that all the Google stuff's been stripped off, which is awesome. It's a much quieter life. I'd recommend it, except it really pisses off Google and Facebook, it would seem. And the other reason is I use a VPN half the time. Oh, and I'm using Linux. So I'm using Linux, a VPN, all things that they can't track as easily through. So, we need you to access, put a ton of security details in again and again and again. Nah.
Well, it can't understand it. The AI can't understand anything. You take one little thing out and the super genius computer becomes a drooling child.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, they don't understand why we don't want to be tracked everywhere.
Yeah, it's partly privacy, but the other massive reason I do this is I want my hardware to work well. My phone is a Moto G3 at the moment, which is quite an old phone. Like, that's about 6-7 years old. Works really quickly and really well because it hasn't got all of the excessive bollocks that Google shove into your OS. So the Android it's running, I think, is version 10 as it is, anyway, and it's running it really happily. Because it's got all the extraneous crap removed from it, and I'm using an old phone that's got a nice camera, nice audio, does everything it's supposed to. You can put a 128 SD and 128 gig SD card shoved in there. It's got tons of memory, but I haven't paid through the nose for my phone, and I'm using a phone that runs quickly and hasn't got all this extra gumph slowing it down.
They want you to put all this crap on there because, hey, it'll make it easier.
Yeah, right.
Easier for them.
Exactly. It's the same with Linux. I use Linux as an operating system on my laptop. My laptop is, God, really old. I mean, it's, what is it? Lenovo T420. That's got to be about getting up for 10 years old, yeah? But it is running with a quad-core i7 in it and an SD solid-state drive. It's a really fast, good laptop. You can upgrade it. That's the thing. You can actually upgrade stuff. Whereas new laptops are like made cardboard, brand new in the shops with i3 freaking processors in. What the hell are you doing? This is ancient tech that runs dog slow, and I've got 10-year-old stuff that is wiping the floor with your crap.
Yeah.
The shitty world we live in today. Depressing notes.
So what's been going on with you, Dr. Alex? Anything new, exciting?
Oh, everything's new and exciting. This is why I've been so antisocial. And is Bird of Prey muted at the moment?
Yes, he is.
Oh, okay. Again, I've been really bad at contacting people and keeping in touch. So, Bird of Prey, I'm sorry if I haven't been communicating as much as I should recently. I'm just so busy making videos, largely. Is the short answer to your question. Because obviously, as you're probably aware, I'm producing my Doctor Who series in lockstep with the BBC's Doctor Who series. And although it's all written and actually published and available to buy on Amazon, the video versions I'm doing right now. And I've got all the episodes done up to episode 5, except for, I mean, obviously 3's up today. 3's going to go out at 7 p.m. today. Keep your screens peeled for that. And obviously a day ahead of the BBC's awful effort. But the episodes 4 and 5 are done, except for my co-star Eon's parts. They all need to be recorded and slotted in. But they are, it won't take very long to do that. And so one thing I do have to do is do episode 6. Probably today I'll do episode 6 if I can find the time. And then I have to record 7 through 13, all of it. So that's going to be a bit more work, but how about
I think for some reason your internet's going. Why don't you try without the camera for a second, Dr. Alex?
Huh. Okay, that's weird.
Because for whatever reason, it was just going.
Yeah, you were roboing all over the place.
Yeah, in that case, you just need to cut your bandwidth down a bit.
Yeah. He's still there, but now. Oh, there it is.
Okay, I've gone camera free. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is weird. Yeah, there's some weird crap going on the internet as well. We had some bizarre thing where it's like someone sliced through a cable yesterday evening, and there was a micro power cut for about 2 seconds, and then everything came back on. But since then, the internet's been really screwy. Can you hear me okay now?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what's going on with it. But yes, what I was saying, I don't know how much of it you got, is that I've been doing a lot of video recording that's been taking up all my time. Obviously, episode 3 of season 13 is going out today, one day ahead of the BBC's awful effort. But I'm still having to edit the rest of the episodes 4 and 5 are fully edited, barring my co-star Eon's contributions. That doesn't take a lot of time to edit in, thankfully. But I've got to do the whole of the editing of episode 6, which will bring up to the same number of episodes as the BBC have planned, because they're lazy. And then I've got to record episodes 7 through 13 in their entirety, which I might start doing today if I've got the time, hopefully. But my God, yeah, I'm busy. The short answer. How are you? Was how I ended it.
I'm doing good, and I can't believe that. Well, at least you're not as lazy as the BBC. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, that's both a high and a low bar. To be as lazy as the BBC would take quite some effort to be that effortless.
It would. Knowing how much work you put into stuff, yeah, I don't think it's possible for you to be that incompetent.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
that type of laziness and incompetence requires government funding.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Chinball, I think, has been trying really hard with his latest season, has been putting on lots of effort. It's still barely mediocre. I mean, he's putting a lot of effort. His incompetence cannot be offset by his work, it seems.
Oh. Kinjack Ben, I remember the dial modem noise. No, I don't miss it. I didn't like it. Now, at the time, it was like, oh, thank God I can connect. And it was kind of like, I put up with it back then.
It's a shame my camera's not working because I can't show you the cat who decided to take up half the sofa before I could sit down and do the streaming.
Well, that's... Of course, the cat's going to be happy because... sorry, cats are jerks, and they own the people that, they live with.
Very true.
Dogs serve people, people serve cats. So it's just the order of things.
Very true.
Oh, God, yes, I remember that. Nothing more annoying than being booted offline when someone picked up the phone on an old dial-up. That was the main reason I got my first phone line.
Yeah. Everybody had 2 and 3 phone lines.
It's like, oh, hey, I had the, and finally, it was just like, well, because when I first got it, it was just the phone. And then they started, quote, including all these other services in with the phone, which drove up the cost.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't want 3-way calling. I don't want call return. I don't want all this other stuff that they started adding in. It's just like, I liked it being optional. Yeah.
And then cable companies came up with high speed, and phone companies haven't been the same since.
No, this is true. Well, let me ask this, Professor Brady Specs. Have you been listening to Dr. Alex on his what do you call that again? Yes,
channel?
On his channel. Because I would dare say it's definitely more entertaining and interesting than... I haven't seen the current series of Doctor Who and don't really give a crap.
Yeah. Well, there's no need to. You saw the type of effort they put in when she first came aboard, and there's no reason to give them a second chance after that.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was like nuts after the child episode. I gave up. I think it was that New Year's special with the Dalek.
Yeah. Yeah, gave him that first season with her, and that was such low bar. I'm not even gonna consider it until her and Chin Bowls are long gone.
Yeah. Just a few more weeks.
Indeed. I've never watched any.
Oh
of
no, they
Chimble's
have
stuff,
these
but-
6 movies, and they have, I think it's what, 3 specials, something like that.
Mhm. Yeah, and their series will still be shorter, even with the specials than mine, because that's six plus 3, that makes 9. I've got 13 freaking episodes in mine, like a proper Doctor Who series. Who knew such a thing was possible?
And
No.
Professor Brady Speck says, yes, Dr. Alex is brilliant. Of course.
Oh, thank you. Has anyone caught Steve Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet's latest review of my season 13, the latest stuff? Because he's gone from, when he was reviewing season 12, he's saying this is really good, I really love it, it's great, except this, and this. He had a few like minor niggles and critiques that he'd thrown, which is of course what any critic should do. She should point out the weak points. But the latest one he's put out is like glowing. He can't find a single thing, even the things he found a little bit irritating before, like Romana's accent. He's gone, no, I'm used to it now. There's not a single bad point in the entire review. I was like, this I've never had before. A review with nothing bad to say. What the hell?
Oh, I love that.
Well, I don't something.
Go on.
Something I don't think anybody's considered. Maybe Doctor Who would be better if they serialized it again. You just have
maybe
a 90-minute story block broken down into half-hour episodes.
Interesting idea, yeah.
I mean, because when we got it here in the United States, they were like 90-minute to 2-hour movies, like episodes. So we saw like Genesis of the Daleks from the beginning to the end, in like a 2-hour, hour and a half sitting. We watched and it did the entire run of that. But that, I don't know, maybe it's just they did that just for us ugly Americans. I don't know.
Hi, Mar.
That would be a good way to rehab the franchise. Like a season or 2, just standalone episodes, then something big at the end. Just build it back up, then you can go back to the way they're doing it now.
I'm trying to straddle an uncomfortable middle ground between old Who and new Who. And I think, bizarrely, it's actually what Chimble's trying to do with his latest season, but obviously ineptly. But I've got an overarching story for the entire season. Season 13 is 13 episodes, and there's a definite beginning through story to the end, which is also was there in season 12 when I did that one as well. But each episode should stand alone. Now, some of those standalone episodes are ending on cliffhangers, which is kind of like the 25-minute episodes of old Who used to be. Every 25-minute episode would end with a cliffhanger, virtually, into the next episode. So I've kind of got a bit of the old and the new in there. But I think it works well that way, because you need to have the story needs to hang on its own to keep people if they just drift in for one episode. The overarching story does give you a bit more meat to your narrative. You've got a bit more to work with then. Discuss.
You sort of cut out a little bit.
Oh, no, not
Only
again.
got like 3 words out of those.
God damn it! This thing never work. I was saying that I'm doing something between the old Who and new Who. I've got an overarching season story. Yeah. But also every episode should stand alone more or less, although I am throwing in cliffhangers for a lot of the episodes as well. Kind of like the small old story way of doing it.
Yeah, but Chipno got so far away from that, and he's actually destroyed the damn history.
Yeah, I know.
So
one of his many problems, yes.
It will be interesting to see what happens after his era.
Yeah, agreed. But we're going to have a bit of a gap between the end of his era and RTD coming back in.
Mm-hmm.
Quite honestly, I think the gap may help.
Yeah, well,
I agree.
you know, but at least Doctor Who is massively fixable. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Star Trek and Star Wars, I mean, they're gone. You know, that's find another sci-fi franchise if you're at least 50 years old. Trust me.
Yeah, well, anyone with an imagination can fix Doctor Who, which is obviously why Chim's doing it. But RTD can. He has got exactly those qualities.
No, honestly, I do think that that Star Wars is fixable. It would require work, but it's fixable.
Yeah.
Star Trek, on the other hand, no hope, none.
Yeah. Dead, gone, bury it.
The problem with Star Wars, though, is you've got $1 billion worth of garbage product out there, and I don't know how you just write that off. 3 movies.
Let it die.
I mean,
you just never mentioned the sequel trilogy again, and
oh no, I wish it was that easy. I wish it were that easy.
It is that easy. You just never talk about it, and in a generation or so, it never happened.
No, somebody will bring it up. Some idiot with an old theater will have midnight showings. Okay, it'll happen.
That's just fan fiction. That was never actually Lucasfilm. That's just something with $1 billion put up on screen.
Yeah, it was just crazy woman, see, and
exactly.
That's how I deal with the Highlander movie franchise. I always just tell myself there can be only one.
There should have only been one.
Exactly.
Let's just face it.
And good afternoon, Dalek451.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and especially good afternoon to Dr. Alex. I'm very pleased to be on with you for a strain. For a strain.
So you can exterminate me.
Exterminate.
Well, now you were never. I was actually listening to this. I've been listening to the streams while I was out on my phone, and well, you were talking about you got Dr. Alex on. You're talking about Doctor Who. That's like the perfect time for me to jump in.
Well, see, that's the thing. We will talk about all different things on here. I'm definitely not a Whovian. I'm not knowledgeable in it, but I do like watching Dr. Alex's stuff because it's actually entertaining and fun to watch or listen to, I should say.
Thank you. It all should be. It just seems they seem to have lost that focus with the BBC.
Well, I will say this, Ervik. Subscribe to Dr. Alex's channel, and you can listen to what Doctor Who should be. Not the garbage that the BBC is producing.
That's better.
Let's see here, Kinjak Ben. I read a Doctor Who comic where he crossed over with Next Generation Star Trek, and it was Matt Smith Doctor. It was rather good. The Borg and the Machine Man came up to a fight at the Doctor.
Yeah, the Cybermen. Yeah, I've read that comic.
Thank you, Aravic. I just read your comment. Thank you. There it is.
Well, like I said, I'm not a Whovian, and I enjoy it. So yeah, that should say something.
I'm just glad people are enjoying it generally. The only reason I'm doing that is that I'm certainly not planning on retiring on this stuff, that's for sure. But I'm glad that people are enjoying them.
I gotta admit, I need to I need to check your stuff out, Dr. Alex. I think I've watched a little bit of your stuff, but not much.
Oh my god. How dare you?
Oh, don't go there.
Well, the longer you leave it, you're gonna have 2 seasons to catch up on.
Absolutely, but it will be enjoyable nonetheless. So if you haven't been listening, you can always catch up.
Mm-hmm. Really good, or just better than stuff that's produced recently?
It's funny, I actually just after the whole thing, a while back, I actually started writing, and I write fan fiction, and a while back I actually started writing a story with my own, which is supposed to be like my own version of Doctor Who, and start, I wrote up Peter Capaldi's regeneration scene and went from there.
Okay, how did you deal with Capaldi's regeneration scene? Because I think most of us here know how I dealt with it, but what did you do?
Actually, I don't know how you dealt with his regeneration scene.
Well, go away and watch episode 1 of season 12, and then you'll know exactly how I dealt with this regeneration. But what did you do?
Does Capaldi not regenerate in your thing?
Well, he does, but he regenerates into a carbon copy of Capaldi again for reasons, and the First Doctor is also involved with it. Well, it's spinning out of what was it, Twice Upon a Time, I think the episode name, but it's the same setup essentially at the beginning, 12th Doctor, First Doctor, but things go a different path, and the season 11 and 12 is dealt with nicely in the narrative, the discussion, the argument between Capaldi and the First Doctor. But anyway, what did you do?
What did I do?
My big question.
Oh man, I haven't actually. Man, I'm way behind on that story. It's been months since I actually wrote anything to do with it. I mean, okay. Basically, what I did when you, like I said, I wrote up the whole scene from the actual episode. But then, but obviously when he regenerates, I kind of did this thing where what's so funny?
Oh, I'm looking at Jeff's post there. He says he wishes he could join the panel because he's at work at the library.
Oh, that's why he's not here.
Mm-hmm. He's like the master Whovian when Yvette's not around.
But Dalek 451, you've lost track of your own stories. What you're telling us, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Basically, while he's regenerating, something really weird happens. He kind of goes. Time kind of, there's like a distortion, and time kind of slows down, and it's like the whole. It's like as I describe it in the chapter, like it's like time comes, like time is put on pause for a moment, and then he there's like this bright light, and then everything starts going again, and then he becomes a completely different. He doesn't become shit taker, as I call her. He becomes a completely different doctor.
Yeah. Okay. That's I don't know if you I don't know if you've ever caught these, but oh god, come on, you can do this.
Shit taker. As I
Beware. Another channel, Beware. He did his own thing. He had the doctor.
Oh, Beware. Yeah, I'm fully aware of Beware. Yeah, he seems to.
Their output seems to slow down a bit because he was doing his own.
Yeah, I've listened to some of his stuff. It's so well written. His stuff, Beware.
It's a completely different way of doing it from me, because mine is definitely more like an audiobook. Yeah, it's got all the narrative, whereas his is more like an radio plays. Yeah, because it's very much dialogue driven, not so much descriptive stuff as you would have in a book. Yeah.
Once my story, once my doctor had fully finished regenerating, I gave him ginger hair, and he is delighted.
By any chance?
He's delighted beyond belief. He is absolutely delighted, but which is kind of similar to what Beware did in his thing. But except he makes a joke out of it,
Well, something that might be of interest to you. I now have plans to do a season 14. In the massive gap we have between the end of hopeful soon to be finished season 13 and Russell T Davies taking over season 14. I'm my own season 14 out there because there'll be plenty of time. And I want to get my Huvian YouTube friends to contribute either stories or story ideas, and that will be how we build up season 14. Now I have an idea where it will start, and I know where it's going to end. But for the middle of it, episodes by my YouTube friends is my plan.
Ah, cool.
That is the plan. And then it'll be even more like a real Doctor Who season, where they had, good writers of different backgrounds writing all the way through it, and it wasn't just one guy doing the whole thing. Which is what I've had to do so far, because there's just me in this flat and nobody else. Well, no, that's not true. There's me and my editor, but it's limited, but limited resources, limited personnel, and limited budget.
Right. Still, I gotta. Okay, yeah. I am subscribed to your channel, Dr. Alex, and I believe you're in my You are in my server on Discord.
I am.
But
yes.
But you just don't do anything there.
Well, I don't like shoving my stuff about me, or indeed people who've talked about me, or anything vaguely like that, into something that doesn't say promote yourself. And I can't find promote yourself on yours, so I tend not to put anything up there as much, at least, as I do in some of the other channels where they've got
right.
Yourself bits.
Fair enough. Also, sorry.
No problem.
Sorry, I'm actually just started having my lunch here.
Well, I'm gonna have to go and get lunch soon as well, but I'll stay for a bit.
That's the subject of an upcoming live stream. I have a YouTube channel as well, and where I've recently started doing live streaming and myself, and the subject of an upcoming live stream I'm going to do is a classic Doctor Who episode story, the Genesis of the Daleks.
Very good one.
Yeah, amazing one. Yeah.
Now let's see here. Robert Rose Jr. So what does everybody think about YouTube getting rid of the dislike feature? Well, yeah. I've said it before. I'll say it again. They did it for the corporate accounts, not for us. They are saying, well, we're doing it for small YouTube creators. Yeah, bullshit.
They're the one people they're not doing it for, yeah.
Frankly, I'm not that fussed about it. It's just like meh, typical YouTube.
Yeah, it is typical of YouTube, but I'm just glad that at least we can still do what we do and have fun doing it. You know, I'm trying to change the focus from that. Let's see here now. All right.
Did you get your stuff copied over to stuff like Odyssey, Twitch, BitChute?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
Mr. Londell, how are you doing?
Yes.
Are you doing anything? Are you doing anything groovy today?
Right now, I'm still setting up my damn phone.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's going to take you days.
I know.
I got my phone 2 weeks ago. And I'm still trying to get everything the way it should be.
You know, all a smartphone ever did for me was make me sit longer on the toilet.
Same here.
It's just absolutely good to at least be able to be on here. So, what time is your new episode dropping, Dr. Alex?
Oh, me. 7 p.m. UK time, so 7 p.m. Saturday. In other words, the traditional Doctor Who broadcast slot that they don't want to use anymore.
Ah.
Oh, and
on the step, BBC, 7 o'clock, BBC One on BBC One on a Saturday. That's when it should be on.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Something that Zvi noticed that there was a new voice in episode 2, but he couldn't identify it. But he then slapped his forehead when I told him it was Doomcock. So Doomcock was in episode 2. And he will be in episode 3 as well, doing that same voice.
You got Doomcock to do some voice acting for you. That's amazing.
I know. I'm very grateful to him. He did it all in one go, and there were some mistakes. So there's a bit of choppy dialogue in it where I had to sort of massage it to make it fit properly. But yeah, it's brilliant. And he's in episode 3. And episode 3 has also got 2 more guest stars. Jesse Milestone, otherwise known as Mindless Entertainment, and Jeff Hicks from World Class Bullshitters. They are both playing as well. So there's 3 guest stars in this episode today.
That's fantastic.
I'm
Yeah, it's very
chuffed. I'm
impressive getting
That's nice.
all that.
Okay, it's all gone quiet. I'll fill the space. It's also word-wise the longest episode in the entire season, I think. If I
Really?
remember rightly. So it barely fits into. I don't want it to ever go over an hour now. So I wanted to be under an hour, and it was just okay. I could just get it in the time. But my God, that was type one. Everything else, everyone is like, they're all shorter. Like, thank God.
Good morning, Super Blubberpuss.
So, let's see here. I'm gonna look real quick. Right now, we have about 75 minutes until Resolute Germ starts on his Saturday morning cartoons. Bird is busy on his birthday, of course. Oh, yes. Let's see here. What did I say yesterday? Trying to remember. Definitely want to send Bird super chats today for his birthday. There was something I said, and I can't remember what it was. Anyhow.
I believe it was spankings for Bird.
Oh, yes. That's it.
Unfortunately, the spanker won't be there today.
Oh my God.
We have to wait for his sister next week for his sister.
Well, maybe we can make him watch Crystal Skull.
We don't want to ruin his birthday.
Yeah.
Hit him all you want, but Crystal Skull, that's cruel and unusual.
No, sparkly vampires are cruel and unusual.
Agreed.
Well, if you were there when Jedi Bill put it on, you'll know what'll happen if you watch it too closely.
I heard about that. See, I'm such an anti-Twilight fan that there's no way in hell I'm watching any of those movies. Yeah.
Oh, it was kind of fun because we did the 3,000 theater thing, and and he had to puke before the end of the show. It was just hilarious.
I mean, the only Twilight I'm concerned that should exist is a short story written by Isaac Asimov. If you read it, it's a great story. Anything else, if it's not followed by Zone, forget it.
True.
Don't everybody talk at once now.
Oh.
Okay. Now we're all going to talk at once, obviously. There was a question ages ago. What's my opinion of classic Star Trek? Classic Star Trek will never grow old. It's brilliant. So, like anything produced by Kurtzman and Bad Robot and any of that Jar Jar Abrams related crap.
Well, Well, I'm trying not to talk because I'm busy eating.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
Oh, interesting point, Ken. There's a 400-year-old dirty old man going after an 18-year-old girl. Good point. But most vampires are old, dirty men in more ways than one.
They do, the new Star Trek, this third generation Star Trek, there are a few good episodes, but they're so far and few in between. It's not really worth trying to sift through them.
I mean, look, I gave STD one season. I gave Picard one season. No more new Trek. Period. Okay. Got a bunch of morons. Don't know how to write. I'm surprised they have a word processing program on their laptops.
I gave STD 6 episodes before I thought, Jesus, this is just utterly facile, mindless crap. But it did serve a useful purpose. It stopped me even starting watching Chimbal Who. I thought, if I suddenly hear good things about Chimbal crappy Doctor Who, there's going to be go and watch it. That's what I did with Matt Smith. I watched it for 3 years, heard only good things, went and watched it. Love Matt Smith Doctor Who. Chimbal Who, nothing but crap have I heard, and I've seen the reviews. I know how the episodes have been running, even though I haven't actually watched them, thankfully. So my vision of Who is untainted and unspoilt, unlike my vision of Star Trek, which was tainted by those 6 eps.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go for it.
I got 6 episodes into season 11, and I was like, okay. I was like, what the hell is this? This is boring. This is so boring.
Okay, spoiler. The last line of the Doctor season 12, the previous season I have out, which is free to view on YouTube, or you can go and buy the book on Amazon. Quick plug. The very last line that the main supporting character says to the Doctor is, well, at least we won't get bored, which was a deliberate dig straight at Chimbal and his crap.
Oh, that's perfect.
Ooh.
That's brilliant.
That made me smile, and I'm not even Whovian.
Agreed.
But yeah, like I said, I just got through episode 6, and it was just, and it's like, what the hell is this? There's no all the monsters in this are stupid. All the characters are wooden. It looks dull, and there's no life in this. This is just boring as just stupid and boring.
Yeah, that's Chimbal.
Yeah, and to me, he's got good story ideas, but they just don't develop for my taste. I'm used to that 90-minute to 2-hour Doctor Who episode. And
that's the thing, those ideas aren't him.
Instead of having real villains or real monsters, being the threat of each episode, it was just like, some idiot, some stupid, some random guy did it, and I was like, what the fuck?
People keep. If I can quickly talk about people who defend Chimbal, there are quite a few people who defend him out there, and they always bring up the same things, the same 2 things predominantly. One is they say, "Oh, but Torchwood got really good," and I was like, "No, well, not as far as I'm aware, it got really good." I was out of
never
Torchwood
got
after
good.
about 6 episodes again. Same thing. 6 episodes, and it was just puerile, childish, kind of like Doctor Who-ish, but not really. And also, it was just they got overexcited by being past the watershed, and it's like, ooh, willies, boobies, sex, and they just it's like being written by an overexcited 12-year-old. And this is Chimble, and they keep trying out. This is it's brilliant. No, it isn't. I stopped watching that after 6 eps. They said you should have stuck with it. It gets better. So I dipped into one of his later episodes. They always pull out as being his like magnum opus. This is Chimble at his best. It is
and which episode is that normally?
Huh?
Which episode?
Countryside is what it's called, I believe. Unless I.
Oh God, not that.
Yeah, it's schlock B-movie horror, and it's just great, a bunch of cannibals living in the middle of the Welsh countryside. Yeah,
exactly.
That's his best. He can do a bog standard B-movie horror story. That's him at his best. Yeah, I can take that. I believe that. And then they trot out what's it?
Cannibals. No aliens. Nothing supernatural. Nothing. Just nothing extraordinary. Just ordinary human cannibals.
Yeah, he can do normie horror, schlock horror, basically normie level schlock horror. The other thing they always pull out, of course, is Broadchurch. Broadchurch, great. He can write something that the normies find attractive and popular at a push, which is Broadchurch. But basically, he's doing something that's the equivalent level to Midsummer Murders. Now, Midsummer Murders, very popular, incredibly popular. I've kind of enjoyed a Midsummer Murders when I've been at my parents and they've had no access to anything other than real TV. And I've sat through a Midsummer Murders and thought, yeah, it was all right. But it's not high-level sci-fi. It's not even low-level sci-fi. It's not intellectually challenging.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why it's boring. Doctor Who is supposed to be a sci-fi, and Chimballs writes it like a soap opera.
Exactly.
With a tiny bit of sci-fi, if sprinkled on the top, if you're lucky.
We've had some good writers come out of soap opera into Doctor Who in the dim, distant past. I'm talking like the 60s and the 70s. We had some very good trained writers coming out of soaps. Well, but just because you write soap stuff doesn't automatically.
Holy buckets, that was loud.
In this case,
what the hell was that?
His writing level, he should just stay on Corrie and never come out.
Is that where they came from? Bloody hell.
I don't know where they come from, but he should definitely probably just stay there.
I hate soap operas so much.
And besides, just because
Hello, Kinjack Kid.
Yeah.
Kinjack.
Hi, everyone.
Just because people like Torchwood doesn't necessarily mean he can write Doctor Who. Two different types of things there. I mean, that's like comparing Star Trek and Star Wars. You may be able to write Star Wars, but you can't write. Doesn't necessarily mean you can write Star Trek. And I don't know why people can't see that.
The thing with Torchwood is the first. I get it. What you mean? The first season was like, what the hell is this? It's immature. It's too grounded. It's too nitty gritty. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, but bad nitty gritty. It's obvious, really shallow veneer of nitty gritty over nothing at all. It's like there's nothing here, no substance.
And 2, 3
for someone.
I mean, season 2 of Torchwood gets a little better, but after that, it goes completely down the toilet.
Can I say something? Because I'm a guy who's like kind of on the outside here.
Go for it.
I thought of Torchwood as like procedural cop drama, especially Miracle Day, which is what I watched most of.
Miracle Day was a shitstorm.
Yeah, but
I kind of like the concept of people not being able to die no matter what happened to them, though. The idea of that much chaos unleashed on the world because people can't die is actually quite a good idea. maybe it wasn't executed very well, or at least for your taste. But
Yeah.
I kind of
Sorry.
thought that was pretty cool.
Look, I'm sorry. I
As I
hated.
recall, they ran into several dead
Children,
lines in that.
Miracle Day. It was awful.
Well, to back
What
up
about it was awful, but in your opinion?
Yeah, what Ken is saying is right, though. Chimble was working within his constraints, his very large, limited constraints. Of he's doing a procedural cop drama, which is basically one step away from soap opera. And as I was saying earlier, Torchwood, like Broadchurch, is pretty much Midsummer Murders for Doctor Who universe. I mean, it's that level of intellectual engagement by the writer.
And for some people, they don't need that much. They don't need that much. It's a ride. It's a thrill ride. It's a thrill ride. And if you have a proper universe, your universe can withstand a thrill ride sort of take. So it's kind of like Star Wars. If Star Wars was had enough people with more people getting control of it, it's a galaxy far, far away. That means there's potential for any kind of story that you want to tell in that universe. And if Doctor Who is a universe worth its salt, then you could tell a superhero story like they did in the Christmas episode.
Yeah. That's the thing. Doctor Who, well, is, or at least should be, a show with infinite possibilities. But it's not. It's not so much anymore.
Well, yeah. Well, they messed it up, but they've messed up everything pretty much.
This is very true. If you get around to watching my season 13, Romana, who's with the Doctor, is complaining that they're always on Earth.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I mean, they've never gone to another planet.
Get Chimble.
I mean,
I don't understand how Doctor Who's time travel works. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. I always said it's like science fiction for people who don't really like science fiction, because there's no real stakes in most things that he does, because he can blow up the entire planet and then by the end of the episode it's back again.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in old Doctor Who, there was much more things like you can't step back into the things you already stepped in, for example. I mean, that would prevent that kind of messing around where everything gets reset immediately. All the Who I write, including the stuff I did with the Big Finish, I always tried to make it a little bit more hard sci-fi, which old traditional Who often was much harder sci-fi. Current era it's weaker in that respect, and God, I mean, Chimble's starting off.
Wait a minute, you worked for Big Finish.
I did 3 stories for Big Finish over about 2 years.
Which ones did you do?
I was in first off Universe of Terrors, which is a short trips compilation, and then Life Science was the second one, and 2040 was the third one that I was in.
Okay.
You're writing that down.
That's another.
However,
that's
if you want
another
those
thing.
stories for if you want those stories for free, you can look at my YouTube channel and look at the Doctor playlist, which has got Regenerations Past, which are the ones, my old short trip ones, plus 1 or 2 extra. And if you want to buy it, you can get it a hell of a lot cheaper than trying to search out secondhand copies on Amazon, because the Doctor Regenerations Past has all 3 stories that I did for Big Finish shoved in it.
Since I don't know much about Doctor Who, what can't the Doctor do? What can't he do? What would break it? What's a thing that he just can't do? Because it seems like he can do anything.
Yeah, it's got way too powerful recently. I still write the Doctor as if he's a human with a little bit extra power in that he can regenerate. Yeah, and he's maybe a tiny bit more resilient than a human, a little bit.
So the regeneration, that's just does it work? Is it strange, or
there should only be 12 regenerations?
Is he going to regenerate into a dog or a cat?
And again, he should regenerate into another Gallifreyan. And the fact that Doctor is a Gallifreyan is something that shouldn't be mucked around with either, which is exactly what Chimble's fucking done. Pardon my French. And he's just so inept, Chimble. But you should not, by overpowering the character, you make it less interesting with the Jodie Whittaker, he's really maxed out on the less interesting. But I'm trying to reintroduce those constraints back into my season 12 and season 13.
Because
so
whenever I started watching Doctor Who, it was in the new Who era, so
Yeah,
I had no clue what the rules were for the universe, and they don't necessarily explain any of that stuff.
No,
it's
I
like
agree.
kind of
It's been gradually done over like 50 years.
yeah. So everybody who watches it already, I'm coming in to it completely clean, and there's no sort of primer for any of that. And when I see him like that, I'm like, so what can't he do? What are the rules of the world, and why is it that he can like go like back into World War II and then back to the future like nothing happened, and he's like changing history and mucking about with the Queen or whatever, and it doesn't matter.
Well, there were some nice aspects in the Tennant era where they were trying to sort of give you some idea of constraints, where the Doctor Triumphant, where he tries to do big, and the woman he rescues from Mars, Waters of Mars, I think was the episode, she then commits suicide afterwards because she knows how this is wrong. He shouldn't be changing big things. And in other episodes, they talk about, I can change.
You mean Time Lord Victorious?
Yeah, that's the one. But yeah, so he oversteps the mark, then he mucks things up. In fact, I mess around with, always back to me, my series about the reason there's problems in my series is precisely because the Doctor has overstepped the mark. He's done something he should not have done, and potentially is destroying the entire universe because of what he has done. Also, having your central character flawed is very important for making them interesting, as some modern day writers don't freaking understand.
No,
Yeah,
unfortunately, writers of today are more
It's all about the Mary Sue.
Yep.
Yes.
They're writing bad fan fiction, not real stories.
Absolutely.
See, I have a story that I'm currently working on where my character is because it starts at the beginning of the character, so you're gonna end up watching a lot of the flaws take place. Like the reasons he is the way he is you're gonna see it happen.
That's a very good idea.
And then by the time you get to the like a future state of the character, he will be a very, very different person, rather stoic, and he'll have a lot of battle scars, as it were.
Yeah, that immediately makes it more interesting. And to be scarred is it just because the past doesn't leave you a perfect person either. Your character will always be interesting potentially because those things will be ghosts with him forever.
And he's going to remain. I think I'm going to have him remain very mysterious. His origin.
Yes,
his origin would make.
Another thing people forget: stop stripping away the mystery. Stop trying to explain stuff. Stop trying to give too much of the Doctor's backstory flesh, because Chimble's done it so ineptly. It's just ruined everything.
He has an origin story, but it's very vague. There's no, he comes from somewhere. I decided to do baby left on a doorstep sort of thing.
Very good.
And he's unique.
Yeah, but one caveat I put in it, they don't have to be unique in their genetic makeup or their special superpowers or anything like that. The Doctor...
Well, that's kind of the point of the story.
Say again?
That's kind of the point of the story. I'm doing
you can have it, obviously. If
you're
doing a superhero thing, then you kind of need that. But the Doctor, for all his powers and stuff, was not meant to be something extraordinary within his society, within Gallifrey, amongst the Time Lords. He's just another freaking Time Lord. Not even the best of the Time Lords. In the Tom Baker era, when Mama turns up for the first time, it's revealed that she's like top of the class in the Academy, and he came out of the Time Lord Academy with a third on the second attempt, something like that. He's not the best of the academic.
He's a C student.
Yeah, he's like a C student. There you go. So he just about scraped through at the end on the second try. That makes a much more interesting character because he's obviously flawed that way.
Yeah,
Clear.
especially since Tom Baker seemed to be the smartest doctor.
Yeah, but putting those flaws in was a brilliant way to mediate that, to make that slightly more palatable, because you can see he's not perfect. He does make mistakes. He is full of bravado, but it's covering weaknesses, which is great. This is how it should be. I was going to say there was something else to do with that as well. Anyway, having weaknesses in the characters is very important. Oh, and that was it. You reminded me. He's meant to be his extraordinary nature is because of the way he thinks. He's counter culture. He's outside of his normal society, but not because he's got 3 legs or an extra brain shoved in his skull. Because he thinks differently. He doesn't agree with the rest of his race. That's all you needed. That was the only difference necessary. That's what made his character interesting, in the way that interesting humans are interesting, because they think differently, not because they've got extra lungs or a set of wings. That is what makes your character interesting. Difference in the way they see or think about the world, not having well, unless you're doing a superpower story, I take that back. But other than that, your hero should be a hero because of the way they behave, the way they act, the way they're flawed, and the way they deal with their flaws.
My character is virtuous in his application of force.
Why can't we just go back to the Doctor just being a Time Lord from Gallifrey and leave it there? Isn't that enough?
I invite you to go and look at my series, as I'm sure you will do.
I strongly suggest that. Yes,
that was enough for me. He's a Time Lord from Gallifrey. That's all you need to know.
Exactly, and stop unpeeling his backstory. That's all you needed.
How do the Gallifreyans procreate if they can't have children? That's what I heard. They don't have kids.
Some original... Well, that's not true. We've had some original Doctor Who that suggests that they kind of procreate in much the same way, particularly given that Leela, a human companion of the Doctor, gets left on Gallifrey and clearly is lusting after a Gallifreyan guard who's wandering around helping the Doctor at the time. I suspect they're going to have sex. Now, there's no hanky-panky going on with the TARDIS, but somewhere on Gallifrey, I think Leela is going to get down and get dirty with that guard, and there'll probably be babies produced, yeah. I think there's no reason to think the Gallifreyans don't procreate in a similar way to humans, particularly since the first Doctor is traveling with his freaking granddaughter, who is obviously young and just on the cusp of going from being a child to becoming a woman. That's somebody growing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
So that's more like twisted canon or whatever, because they messed it up. They wanted to do that for some reason.
Oh, well, if they're saying that they don't have children. Okay, bear in mind, you might be referring to stuff that's off screen. If there's stuff they've said about Gallifreyan Time Lords in books or in comics or anything like that.
No, I could have swore I heard that was like David Tennant say that he can't have children. The David Tennant Doctor said he can't have children.
Not that I recall.
No, he didn't say that.
He said he was
He clearly said
father before.
Yes, David Tennant clearly said to who was it? Was it Donna? Was it Martha?
Yeah,
would have been.
No, it was Donna. He said to Donna, "I've been a father before."
It doesn't mean that the kid was his.
Very true, but I mean, if we're generally we go with the original canon, then the first Doctor's granddaughter's on board, and I think most of us would just say, well, obviously he must have had.
He had at least one kid if he's got a granddaughter.
A grandchild. And I'm sticking with that because on screen is my only canon that I care about.
Right.
Yeah. It makes more sense.
It does make sense. That's one of the things that I didn't like about Doctor Who, or that I don't like Doctor Who. It's so convoluted and it doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me because they would say things like he can't have kids, but they live a long time and they regenerate, but still, how could there be any of them left if they can't have children?
Even before Chimble, some of the modern era Who has been poorly thought through. I mean, Moffat has done some pretty bad crap, particularly towards the end of his time there. And if the children stuff came up under under Russell T Davies. He's not perfect. He's made mistakes as well. But the good thing about Doctor is we can often ignore some of the stupid things, like in the movie where Paul McGann says, "I'm half human on my mother's side." Well, nobody ever referred to that again, ever, because it was stupid. And we looked past it, and it never happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I try to
always
forget
took
the
that
Paul
as
McGann
a
thing.
joke.
And good afternoon, Mar. A wonderful good hello, everyone.
There's a few things that happen in Star Trek that people just ignore. They're like really strange too. Like the episode Rascals, they completely ignore that episode. And then the episode, the one where Pulaski gets the aging disease, they ignore that one too. All the ones where they've cured aging are completely ignored by people, by the writers of Star Trek. Because then there's no reason for anyone to stop. They can live forever at that point.
Yeah.
Well, with that
Take a
Pulaski
trip.
episode, it wasn't curing aging. It was
Reversing
the
the
genetic code to counteract the antibodies from those children.
Yeah, who were
Without
genetically
those
engineered.
antibodies, yeah.
Who were genetically
The genetic
engineered.
engineering part, that violates the canon for Federation outlawing genetic engineering, but it doesn't.
Yeah, and they said that they did that even in the episode previous to that episode. They had said that they outlawed genetic engineering because they were on that one planet. They were on that one planet with that one guy that Counselor Troy fell in love with just by looking at him. And they had the dome, and the stellar core fragment was coming in to rip it apart, and they couldn't fix it because they're like 2 centuries behind everyone in technology.
And good morning, Rod Thunderheart.
Good morning there.
Yeah, they have a lot of stuff like that in Star Trek that's really...
Yeah, but I think in that episode they said that they have banned it, but then again you have so many human colonies out there who doesn't know that it actually then again fits in without causing any problems.
But they're still Federation citizens, and they're a genetically altered society. Wouldn't they have gone out there to inform them, hey, look, you guys need to knock it off. This is banned in the Federation, or turn in your citizenship. That's the sort of thing that.
Well, then when we go to
they were completely unknown to the Federation.
Right, exactly. If we go then to the times before the Federation, well, they was exploring already, but there was nothing like the Federation. And there was going with sublight speed or whatever to get to the planets, or maximum speed warp 3, something like that, which had taken them years to get there, never knowing about the Federation, starting their colonies there. They wouldn't be part of the Federation at all. They wouldn't even know about it.
Well, yeah, that's kind of like the scenario when Data had to convince those people to leave because the Shellyak were going to blow that place up.
Yeah. The only reason that the Shellyak even thought they were Federation was because they're human, but the people basically lucked out because the Shellyak made an assumption they weren't Federation citizens.
And then what was the other one? There was another one. There was another instance where Federation citizens were there. They the Native American colony that was on the Cardassian border. They were also Federation citizens, and they relinquished their citizenship to keep their planet.
Yeah, that was the Maquis.
Yeah,
no.
They weren't Maquis. They weren't Maquis, but there were people.
They didn't mention them at the Maquis, but that's what they developed into in DS9.
Yeah, there were people in Voyager. They showed that people from that place had joined the Maquis, not that planet itself was part of the Maquis.
Well, yeah, because the Federation started rounding them up if they didn't flee.
Yeah, and I always thought that was a mistake. They should have used the Maquis as a breakaway civilization from the Federation. They've done something interesting with that.
They were kicking the damn Cardassians' ass.
Yeah,
Sure.
they should have done that, and the Federation should have fought the Federation too, and then they could have had like it could have been like the Maquis play the role, or like, let's say use history for an example. The Maquis play the role of American colonists, and then the Federation plays the role of Great Britain, and they get in a fight that way, and then when the Maquis win their freedom, they become like a space America. Because they can have completely different values to the Federation, and then you can have them be like, yeah, we don't care about any of that stuff, of that betterment stuff. Our people use money. We do what humans have been doing. That sort of stuff.
Not really the historical analog they were going for.
No.
Yeah, I know. It would have made the show a bit more interesting to have an ideological enemy for the Federation.
All Federation opposition was ideological. The Klingons in the old series, I mean,
No, because they
were
mostly,
they all represented a counter ideology to America at the time. Even the Borg, that was a collective. That's counter to what the way democracy worked, or the way a republic works.
see, and I disagree, because it may have been in I don't know how I'm losing my train of thought here. I'm thinking of it more like they never showed, like, especially take Voyager for instance. They never showed Chakotay. Chakotay just became a captain, a commander again. If he is the person that he is, he should have never put on a Starfleet uniform and always challenged Janeway's rulings. He always challenged her, because he's not a Federation citizen. He doesn't buy anything that the Federation stands for, or he shouldn't. He should be the guy telling her, your entire society of betterment, of self betterment, is complete hogwash.
You really didn't pay attention, did you?
Yeah,
because
hardly ever did that.
That you
Put on
really
the suit
you
and did
really
whatever
didn't
she
pay
said.
attention to the show, did you? Because it was about cooperation, so they can try to get back to Federation space. You don't need somebody constantly. We're not supposed to do that. We're not like you. Yada yada. You see, that does not get you back to where you need to be. They had one goal, and that was to get back to Federation space. And if you got somebody bitching, moaning, arguing at you all the time, that's not going to work. Notice the episode
he
where
challenged her a lot.
Yeah,
he
but
just
it was
knew where to draw the line, that proper command structure. Once
and it was
Janeway made a decision, he went with it.
Yeah, it was the way Spock would have challenged Kirk, the way number one would have challenged Picard. It was within a framework, and since he was former Federation, he understood that framework.
I agree, but he rejected the Federation, and he didn't have to. That's the point. The point is that he should have. I think that it should have been adversarial in nature, but not something where it's not like mean spirited or anything like that. Where
If you want
it seems
adversarial, they had Eddington and DS9 at basically the same time.
Actually, Chakotay putting back on the uniform was like showing unity, that he is willing to help.
Thank
to
you.
get everyone back.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you.
That doesn't really mean that he had to
I
agree
disagree with the whole
everything.
entire idea of him putting on the uniform. I just disagree with it. I don't think he ever
For
should.
his crew.
Huh?
He's gonna help his Maquis crew integrate into Voyager, so they have a way home. It's either that or they get stranded with the whatever
You
their names were.
you survived through teamwork. Okay.
And I call that subjugation.
Okay. You'd never survive.
Well, his only other option was to live on a desolate world with a bunch of complete naive children, basically.
I don't think that was his other option. I think the other option would have been he doesn't have to put on the uniform, but he can do the job.
But
Neelix
then
never put
people
on
would
the
always
uniform and
have
he did the
looked
job.
at them. They would never
Neelix
have
never put on the
trusted
uniform and he
them.
did the job.
But
They
he
picked up a lot of different people.
He didn't have a rank.
Doesn't matter. He rejected the rank. He rejected Federation society completely.
I disagree.
Oh boy.
I totally disagree. In fact, he was basically an ambassador to the Federation at the end of the series.
No, I'm not talking about Neelix. I'm talking about Chakotay. Chakotay rejected the Federation. He rejected what they had to offer because he joined the Maquis.
And
There's
then he left
joined
the Maquis
for his home because his home was given to the Cardassians.
Okay, I've got to go make some
disagreed
lunch.
with the decision.
Very late lunch. I'll see you all soon.
Absolutely. You take care,
Later.
Dr. Alex.
Yeah, it was fun,
Dr.
dude.
Alex.
Yep.
Okay.
My failure, I thought it was Resolute talking.
As I was saying, Chakotay didn't necessarily disagree entirely with the ideals of the Federation. He left because his home was given to the Cardassians and his family suffered for it.
Not necessarily that. He left because his father was killed by the Cardassians. Remember, his father didn't want him to have anything really to do with the Federation.
Yeah.
And Starfleet. He chose that path because he didn't want to be an anthropologist like his father. And his father died fighting for something that should have been a Federation ideal. That's why he left the Federation and joined the Maquis. So him putting back on that uniform makes sense. It's what he's good at in the first place.
I guess so, but I just see it differently. That's all. I think it's a missed opportunity to have to have it where they have somebody saying to them, having a difference of opinion as a human being, and they don't have that in Starfleet. They don't have any of that. They don't have anyone who isn't an alien that tells Starfleet, like I said, your philosophy of self-betterment is utter hogwash, and I don't go along with it.
And they left the Federation.
What humans do you know that were main characters in the show would say that to them
That's
on a regular
the point.
or even in an
They
episode?
wouldn't be in, although they were in episodes, they wouldn't be a main character. Because if you had anybody like that, if Chakotay had been like that, his life would have been spent in the fucking brig or in his quarters.
It doesn't
period.
have to be.
Or
Yes.
on the
Doesn't
planet.
have to be.
Yes,
So if
it does
doesn't
have
have
to
they
be.
didn't integrate.
Oh, yes,
No.
it has to
No,
be.
it doesn't have to be
They're
because
stranded.
his
Okay,
ideology,
let
his
me put it to you
ideas
this way.
can
No.
differ.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Yeah.
It's a Federation ship. You conform or you are put off. Or
Thank
you're
you.
put into your quarters. Yes, you
Not
must
true.
conform. Absolutely true.
That was part of his deal with Janeway to go back. If they don't integrate into the crew, there's
They have to
a
leave the
lifeless
ship.
little planet that they just leave them on.
Yeah.
They can go join the whatever Kess's race was, and Voyager will go on its way.
I understand that. But just because they're on the ship doesn't mean that they have to do that. They can betray their ideas. They don't
No.
have to.
Yes.
Because they make allowances all the time for other alien cultures.
That wasn't the deal.
They make
Chakotay made with
allowances
Jimmy.
all the time for other alien cultures. They won't make allowances for a culture that diverges from, if it's a human being that says I don't go along with your philosophical beliefs.
On that
That's
ship,
all.
who did they make major exceptions for? Kess,
Who did they?
Neelix, they all conformed.
Any of the
into
aliens. I'm not talking about like open defiance of the rules of the ship. I'm talking about an ideological difference. An ideological difference. I'm not talking about any of that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when they're having philosophical debates or discussing how something should be done, and they talk about self-betterment, and they do it a lot, especially in Deep Space Nine. There's no difference of diversity of thought as humans are concerned, and it doesn't make sense to me.
Do you know who Michael
How about
Eddington is?
how about this? The rules and regulations. Follow them or end up in jail.
Yeah.
That has absolutely nothing to do
99% of the
with
time, you're
diversity
not
of
dealing
thought.
with your average human. You're dealing with Starfleet officers.
Yeah.
They're naturally going to have a similar mindset because they're all in the same organization. And there's regulations they have to conform to.
Yeah. And it's just that simple. I mean, society is like that. The rules that you follow, you don't follow them, they have a place they can put you. It's
I
called
agree.
a prison.
I agree. But I can follow the rules of a society and not agree with that society. I can do all of that. That's possible, is it not?
And there was plenty of disagreement, even in Deep Space Nine.
No, actually, Ken just said it himself. They can wear the uniform of Starfleet and still have different opinions and views of
Yeah.
stuff.
But at the end of the
So
day,
you don't.
there's a book of regulations that you follow.
But they don't. They don't have people, just like in the way people do things now. There isn't going to be anybody that is in 100% agreement with anything, with a bunch of stuff. I mean, Federation was out there doing
Ken,
things. Yes.
you are right in some points, but just wearing the uniform doesn't change the person. The thing is, they wore
I
the
know that.
uniform so that people would start trusting them and that they
Okay.
can work together. And
Yes.
that was
Okay, I
the
agree.
great
I
thing
agree.
there.
He could
They
wear the
still have
uniform.
they still have had different opinions and different views on things, and they really they always was saying their shit there. They wasn't like, oh, you are right, I'm wrong, so let's do it your way. No, they was arguing there, and that was like, we can't do it always that way. We also have to do it another way sometimes, and that's actually what was happening there. They was just wearing the fucking uniform.
Well, the problem was is if you didn't have them in the Starfleet uniform, all the Starfleet people would be looking at him going, "Oh, Maquis," you know, it would have been a complete cluster muck, you know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
And when that ship's in an emergency situation, you don't need that. It's
Yeah, you don't. Yeah,
it's
you
private, crawl in that hole and hook that shit back up before the ship blows up. It's no, we can't think about it. No, get your ass in the hole and do it.
Yes.
That's how that's the thing. It's no time for all that debate and philosophical this and you know that and well I'm Marquis and we no. It's about a job to do. You do that job. Okay. All the debate and all of that goes away. That was the
They even
premise
had
of
an
the
episode about
episode
that.
where the episode where Tuvok took that group of Maquis and put them through basic training. That's what that was about. We have to work together if we want to get from where we are back to Earth. and that's what he would essentially. That's what he taught them in that
And
basic training regimen.
and also all of the Maquis had the usual basic Starfleet training. That's also
Yeah.
a thing that Neelix never got. So why would he wear a uniform in that case? He was just the cook.
Uh-huh. True that.
Exactly. And
On a ship that doesn't need a cook. Just saying.
well, it did help with saving on resources, so there was a legitimate use for a cook.
What, he ran away?
Probably his phone overheated.
Oh, okay. It was just getting interested.
His phone was cooking. And that'll happen.
Yeah, and
I
it
don't
would have
understand the
worked
Federation
in
should
the
be
Alpha
trusted.
sector. It would have
Yeah.
worked in the Alpha sector, not in the Delta sector, where they
Right.
had to work together.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You're not having to come together to go back home, and that's a totally different story. If it, I think it could potentially work. Well, not under the current crap, but yeah.
Good morning, Cam Cam.
There's Cam Cam.
Good morning, Cam Cam. How are you today?
Yeah, Ken Jack Ben, I'm sure you're still listening. It was a fun banter while you were here.
Yeah, it was just getting interested.
If you can make it back on, it would
Yeah.
be kind of fun.
You had us all thinking. That was
But I still say they needed to wear the uniform, because if they hadn't,
It's fine if they wear the uniform, but they don't have to.
And that's what we all said all the time.
I think he's.
Break away from the Federation. And there's reasons why the Federation should be trusted. I'm here. Can you get? I didn't realize it. The screen is really small. I'm on my phone. But like I said in the chat, I said there's reasons. I have reasons why I think the way I do, and why there would be peaceful disagreement amongst the citizens of the Federation. I'm talking about the ideological differences. I'm not talking about the day-to-day functioning of a ship lost in the Delta Quadrant. And it's possible in the private moments when they're talking to one another about life in general, that they would have disagreements that are more fundamental to the way they want to go about their life, and not break apart and have a fight about it. That's my point. That's my point in general. And
they had a
he doesn't
lot of
have to wear the uniform. He doesn't have to wear the uniform. They didn't make Neelix wear a uniform. They never made Kess wear a uniform.
Because they want proper members of the crew.
He doesn't have to be a proper member of the crew.
But yeah,
To serve his
thing
function,
is
he did.
Janeway had incidents with all kinds of them.
The deal they made to.
I know that's the deal they made. I know about that. I know about that. I'm talking about the overall missed opportunity to show them getting along with somebody they have a fundamental disagreement with. Not in how procedural things are to be done, but like if it was an alien and they trusted him, it would make sense that way if an alien was doing it, and then the alien finally becomes part of the, like Icheb putting on the uniform and being a cadet. That makes sense to me. But Chakotay doing that never really made sense to me when he's rejected the Federation as it was.
Of course he didn't.
Hey, Elihu.
Of course he didn't wear. Of course, Mott didn't wear a uniform. He wasn't an officer. He said he was.
It doesn't
a
matter if he's an officer or not. It doesn't matter.
I mean,
It doesn't matter if he's
absolutely,
an officer or not.
absolutely, it matters.
No, it doesn't.
Absolutely.
You're
If he
missing
is
the
going to
point.
be an officer on
I'm not missing
a
the point.
starship, if he's going to be an officer on a starship, he has to conform to the rules. There are absolute rules of uniform code,
and he doesn't have to follow them.
Have to? Oh yes,
It's
there are,
either that.
there are
or
exceptions made.
They're civilian laborers on the ship. He was made first officer, and they're all made officers to help them integrate into the ship, so there wouldn't be problems between the regular Starfleet and the Maquis crew.
I agree, but there shouldn't be problems between regular Starfleet and the civilians. There shouldn't be. If Janeway says that he's a captain, he's a commander, then he's a commander. It doesn't matter what clothes he's wearing.
Yes, it does.
It does, because people are prejudiced. You know, even in the 24th century.
Okay, let me
point
put it to you this way. If you had and Mr. Londell, as being military, you would know more than anyone. What would happen if somebody had decided they weren't going to wear their uniform?
You would be forced to put it on. On it, you know, depending on the situation, the type of, you know, what uniform you were supposed to wear, you would put it on. You would be ordered to put it on. If you did not put it on, life becomes a living hell for you because of it. And you know that's the way it is. Somebody tells you what to do, and you do it. That way, you keep paid. You keep.
Did they tell Counselor Troy to wear a uniform? The only one that ever did was Admiral Jellicoe. She never wore a uniform.
That was based on the way Picard ran his ship.
Correct. Captain Jellicoe ordered her to change, and she did.
See, Picard was cool with her in civvies. Probably liked to look at that big ass, but I mean, so you know, she could do that. Jellicoe said, "You're in Starfleet. Wear the uniform." What did she say? Yes, sir.
Well, it's like 7 of 9 never wore the uniform.
There you go. He didn't wear a uniform. The way I see it is he didn't have to.
She was
in
Starfleet. She wasn't an officer. That's the point.
He didn't have to.
Okay.
Everyone from the Maquis was at one point in time Starfleet.
Well,
but
quite a few of them, not all.
7 of 9, Neelix and Cass never was Starfleet. They never had the training of Starfleet. They never vouched to the rules.
But they're still members
Starfleet.
of the crew, right? They still serve a vital function of the crew.
Members of the crew.
Chakotay wasn't.
Yes.
Chakotay wasn't a member of
Officers-
Starfleet when he came on the crew.
There's a
But
difference
he had
between
the
a member of the
training.
crew and being an officer.
He was Starfleet before he became Maquis.
I agree.
Yeah.
I know this. I know
Don't
this.
get,
I know
don't
this.
get too frustrated. We're just having fun here, people.
And
I
it's
know,
real
I know.
simple. All Janeway has to do is make a log entry that Chakotay has been he's been redrafted into
I remember that.
Starfleet as a commander.
I remember that. I
She
remember
makes
that.
Makes a note in the log, and guess
I remember
what?
that.
He's a
But as
Starfleet
a matter of
officer again.
principle, as a matter of principle, and a show of his belief in what he is, he's a Maquis citizen. He's a member of the Maquis. I don't believe it makes narrative sense for the Maquis crew to immediately become members of Starfleet the minute they get there. I don't like
Not
that
all,
story element.
not all the marquee members were Starfleet.
Nope.
Chakotay and B'Elanna were the only two. Everybody
again,
else was, and I think maybe Seska was.
And Paris wasn't a member of the Maquis, but he did end up putting on a uniform.
That's because Janeway got him recommissioned.
Again.
Yeah. Most of the Maquis, Paris, and
when
they
they're
were
in
Starfleet washouts.
Again,
You don't understand how a military works. That's the problem.
I do understand
If you did, you wouldn't have an issue.
I disagree with it.
Okay, that's the
You
problem.
wouldn't have an issue with
Okay,
this.
that's the problem, Kinjak Ben. You disagree with it. You're incorrect. There is a certain code that must be followed. They agree to follow the code. Therefore, they follow the code. Period. Now, there were times when there were discussions on the bridge and elsewhere in the ship. When the captain made her decision, that was final.
Yes.
Chakotay knew that. In the premiere episode, she tells Neelix, dismissed. He was new. She then said, this is Federation for get out.
Yeah.
So they followed the rules.
Yeah.
There was a time that they could absolutely give and express their opinion, their thoughts, their feelings. Once the captain made up her mind, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. That's why in the movie, when what's her name goes to the captain and expresses stuff, because they've already, even though he's doing the wrong ass thing, Lily could go there because she wasn't Federation. He had made up his mind. He was going to save the damn ship, kill everybody on board to do it. Lily could go in because she wasn't Federation. She wasn't Starfleet. She wasn't under the control. She hadn't taken an oath. They had.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who's Lily?
That's from First Contact.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, her. Right.
God.
So yes,
The best
they had
movie
agreed.
ever.
Well, hey, the only thing that came to mind where somebody openly went against Picard and had every right to, but again, they didn't go against him. Why? Not because he wasn't wrong, but because they were following protocol.
Yeah.
You follow protocol. They agreed to stay on the ship. They agreed to follow they agreed everything. So they either follow protocol or you get off the damn ship.
Exactly. Captain has the final word. You do. He gives an order. You follow it. That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, if they had not agreed, okay, fine. Stay in your orders, go in the brig, whatever the hell you do. Stay away.
Now, to kind of muddle it up a little bit, there are instances where you can disobey an order if that order is not lawful. Case in point, when in Equinox, Janeway had the guy in the room and that thing was about to come in, trying to make him talk. When Chakotay stopped that, he was in his right to do that because Janeway was about to kill a man. He was in his right to do that. That was
correct.
Right what he did. Any other time, it was any other off order Janeway gave him was lawful. He had to follow it.
I have a good one. Let's say Mr. Londell, he was in the army. Let's say he is one of those force motherfuckers.
Oh my God.
And I'm German private. American army, German army, they do not really work together. I mean, we have different opinions and everything, but if I would be on his ship and he would tell me, "You put on my uniform, our uniform, me to get this shit show going," I would do so. I would wear the uniform and I would help where I can to get the shit show going wherever we want to.
We do have to remind everyone we do value all of your opinions. It's not
Yeah.
like we're trying to pick on anybody.
Yeah.
You know, it's just fun banter.
Never would pick on anybody. No, that's
Yeah. Oh.
Well, I have, but this is not one of those occasions.
no. Well, I mean, there's a difference how you pick on people. You know, you don't mock them and belittle them. There's a difference.
Yeah. If Jeff were here and he was saying the stuff he was saying in chat about the new Who, we'd be picking on him live and in person.
Well, I wouldn't be. I don't know enough about Doctor Who to piss up the flagpole. You know, it's just
Same characters, other situation, 1942. Yeah, Mr. Londell is my officer on a ship. I'm the German. I still will listen to what he says because I want to survive that. So I would put on the American uniform and he would be my boss. And back then I would have had
red shirt.
viewings of that.
Okay, I'm gonna have to drop off to set up the stream. I'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, get your stream together. buddy.
Take care, Resolute.
Yeah.
Later.
Didn't walk all this time, Bird, and didn't chime in.
I just got back. I was eating breakfast, talking to family. You know, it's birthday day.
Happy
Everybody's
birthday,
calling me.
Bird.
Thank you.
I was about to ask. I heard something about someone doing a birthday celebration stream. Was that you, BirdOPrey5?
Yeah, that'll be later at 3
Oh, well.
p.m. Eastern.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's gonna have to sing "Happy Birthday" to himself in Aussie mood.
Looks like I missed quite a bit from the size of the private chat.
Oh, absolutely.
That was a whole different story over there. Didn't want to bring any of that shit up.
Oh no!
Thank you, Elijah.
I will say this. I do want to thank everybody for joining today. This has been an absolutely fun stream. I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up. Please go on over to Resolute Germs channel. Go watch that. In fact, I will drop the link to that stream in the chat. Just one moment. And go ahead, head on over there, watch with us, and have a great day.
Thank you, Cam.
And thank you, Cam. And good morning, Elihu. Sorry I hadn't said anything before. And again, happy birthday, BirdOPrey5. Have a great day. Talk to you all soon.